Hello, all, and welcome to episode 9 of the Useless Threats podcast. I am your host, Chris Marks. Today, we will be talking to Jeff Seal. Jeff Seal's a pretty cool guy. I know him from volunteering over at Thirsty Planet, but he was a sales rep for Keg One, who has now been bought out by Capital Right and are our distributor. So, is our distributor? Whatever. Yeah. They distribute our beer. He's a cool guy. I hadn't really gotten to know him. I'm really eager to go over to his house that he keeps talking about. It's over in Spicewood because it looks really freaking sweet, and he's got his own boat dock, which is pretty awesome. It's kind of a dream of mine to have, so that's pretty sweet. It's been really nice and handing me different flyers about houses that are for sale out there, because even though we're not looking currently, Hannah and I are saving up to where we can get a nice house somewhere. So that would be cool. So today's interview was interesting. I guess that's a good way of putting it. It went really well. It went super well. It's everybody always has kind of the same mentality if they haven't been on any kind of podcast or anything before. Or even if they have, and they'll come in, they're like, I feel like I'm gonna be awkward. I'm like, you're not gonna be awkward. Just trust me. It'll work itself out. It always does, and it always goes really well. This one I found interesting because some of the topics we got onto, and there's a point in there that we're going to hit where we're talking about guys and looking at weird shit. Essentially, it starts out with a conversation of porn, but it's guys looking at weird shit, and I don't know, man. I say it in the podcast too. I don't know. Maybe Jeff should question a little bit more about what his friend was looking at. But there's an interesting situation that gets into there. But who knows, man? Guys look at weird. Excuse me. Guys look at weird stuff, man. That's it. So give the benefit of the doubt. I don't know, man. You'll listen to it and you'll be like, that's interesting. And I'm sure he was kind of in the situation was like, what? But there's that. A lot of crazy, a lot of crazy stories of different hobbies and stuff. It was interesting. I mean, we had a lot of fun. Had a lot of drinks. It was a cool time. And yeah, I mean, that's about it. A little few announcements here. First off, I apologize, but there will be no episode next week. As you know, anybody who is an avid listener to this show, Bucket of Beers is the next episode. And with respect to that, too many things went wrong for this episode to be good. For it being, because we're going to record it this Friday. Hannah's got her CPA exam the next morning. Kellen couldn't make it. Jason couldn't make it. Stu couldn't make it. And it just went on from there. And it was just like, okay, we got to reschedule this. So we're doing it this next Friday, I think, or Saturday. I'm leaning towards Friday. So the episode will end up coming out not this Wednesday, but the next, or not, it wouldn't be this Wednesday. It'll be 2 Wednesdays from now. There. 2 Wednesdays from now, it'll be out. So there won't be an episode the next week. But then you'll have Bucket of Beers, and it's going to be epic. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. I got a lot of really awesome people coming over for it. It's going to be one big party. We're going to barbecue a bunch of pork that my mom gave me, which is sweet. Stoked. Oh, man. A little bit about me, I guess. I was in Houston this last weekend, and it was awesome. Hannah and I went to Lana Del Rey. I had gotten her tickets for last Christmas. Finally, it was time for the concert. Excellent concert. Just absolutely fabulous. We had a great time. We were snockered. It was a lot of fun. Went and did that, and then I got to go and spend time with my grandparents, learn more about my Cuban heritage. I love doing that. I want more and more of it. I really need to start learning how to speak Spanish. I've taken it up several times and just quit every time. And it's not like I'm like sitting here like, oh, I can't do this quitting. It's just like I'll get preoccupied with something else and I'll forget to do it. And I'll I will continue to forget to do it. And so it just never ends up happening. But I need to do it. But we had some awesome Cuban food. Hannah and I had a blast in Houston, helped my parents out with a few things. got to hang out with Hannah's parents and learned some stuff about them. And I mean, they're awesome people. Our families are awesome, so that's really cool. Few little other plugs for this. I mentioned in the episode that you're about to hear. But so after Bucket of Beers, we're changing up the gang, man. We're changing up the game. We're gonna be doing the same old thing that we're doing right now. But episode 11, I want to have episode 11 start having music. I'm gonna start interviewing musicians as well, and I'm gonna see if I can get a friend of mine to come out for that episode. But start having have music in the breaks, have musicians as well. I'm gonna try and hook it up so we have the sound bites happening, which is going to be funny, really funny. I'm going to just be activating them all over the place. Things from different episodes, little things that we made. It'll be fun. I'm going to start posting on Instagram a picture of every person that I do an interview with, because I'm pretty sure that's the only thing I'm ever going to use Instagram for this show, other than posting pictures of my dog, which Jordan told me not to do. So... He says he gets enough of it on my own Instagram. I was like, well, you're going to deal with it because she's the best dog in the world. She is. That's final. Back to the plugs. Little plugs here. Hey, like me on Facebook, Useless Threats, or find me at Chris Marks. That's my actual page for it. On Twitter, it's UT Chris Marks and Useless Threats. 2 separate accounts with that. Instagram is UT Chris Marks. What else? Episode 11 will be up on Stitcher as well, so that will be sweet. I'll get all the episodes up there, but that'll probably be the first one there. But I'll put all the ones up there when I get a chance. Let's see, we did Facebook, we did Twitter, we did Instagram, we did Stitcher, Liberated Syndication, Useless Threats. I need to get better at these plugs. I feel like I'm so boring right now. I'm boring you. I know I'm boring you. I'm sorry. Anyway. Let's get to the episode. Here is episode 9, Jeff Seal. Enjoy. Revenge. Cheers.
Yeah.
I picked it up at the Jester King Brewery when we were there the other week when my buddy was in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to try to go out there Saturday to get the black metal, but I decided not to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just figured it was going to be so busy, you know.
It was nuts when we went there, and
yeah.
And Jeff was like, oh, it's not that busy. I'm like, motherfucker, it's pretty busy out here right now.
Yeah. I mean, what, like, how many people were out there? A few hundred?
It seemed like, or more. I mean, yeah. I mean, enough to where it was like you pull up and you're like, holy fuck, this place is pretty saturated.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't any kind of line that was like, oh, you wait 2 hours in line. That didn't happen. I mean, they're pretty efficient with going through, too, with people. I mean, they had like 5 people pouring, so it went pretty fast.
Right.
But... yeah, it was pretty intense.
Have they opened the outside bar yet?
They've opened everything. They got it all.
Really?
Yeah. They got the pizza going. They got there's one. So there's the one outside bar. Then can't you order beer or something with the pizza place? I feel like you can order beer there too.
At Stanley's?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of beers over there too.
And then you've got Jester King's actual place to get their stuff.
Yeah.
Man, they got a crazy setup going on there. Hannah and I are thinking about doing our wedding there. We're thinking about asking them how much it is to rent it out. It's fucking beautiful.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, set aside the beer or anything with it because she didn't care about beer. I'll if we're doing it there, I'll be like, hey guys,
right.
hey, let's do something. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
But I mean, she didn't care about beer, but she even was like sitting there. She's like, what did you think about doing our wedding here? And I actually had originally thought about that, but I was like, she's not going to want it. She's going to be like, that's a brewery. We're not doing our wedding at a brewery. Yeah. But no, she was like, no, let's do it. I was like, okay. So, I mean, I'm going to talk to them.
I don't know if they rent it out. I mean, maybe on an off day or...
I feel like I could talk them to doing something. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, because they're not. I mean, on like again, yeah, like an off day, not like a Saturday where they're like
Right.
completely
Hundreds
packed.
of people.
but
Yeah.
right, but I feel like it could be worth their while. I mean, I'll bring a lot of people and stuff. I feel like I saw a picture online of someone had at least taken their wedding pictures there.
Right.
I don't know if they had the ceremony there, but their pictures were taken there.
Yeah.
But
That would
you know,
be badass. So.
yeah,
That'd
man,
be
right?
real
I'm
cool.
just like, shit. I'm gonna talk to Thirsty Planet, get some beers going there, get some beers going here. All I gotta pay for alcohol that way is the actual liquor thing, because who the fuck cares about wine?
I mean,
We'll get
older
wine.
people.
We'll
and
get
stuff.
wine. I mean, we will, but neither of us give a shit about wine. But
Sure.
we'll be like, you have your.
I don't know.
your
Drinking
white, you
wine's
enjoy.
pretty fun though.
It is.
Get wine drunk. It's crazy.
It is a good drunk, but I don't know what it is. But we've had like 10 bottles sitting over there. They're pretty good bottles.
Yeah.
That we just haven't even touched. We've just been like, whatever. I mean, she doesn't really like. I'm trying to get her into beer, but she's not a big beer person. She'll
Yeah.
drink liquor all day with it, but I can't.
Yeah.
But getting her into beer has been nuts. What is this dude texting me about? Okay, cool. Okay, bye. Oh man! So I'm sitting here with Jeff Seal. Yeah, we're drinking the.
I thought you didn't like to use real names.
Oh no, we use full real names now every time. Are you
I'm
cool
just
with it?
kidding. Yeah, I don't give a
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. No, after the second episode, we went to
Yeah.
full real names
Alright.
every time. It was just funny because I was contemplating it, and then my buddy Chris was on here. I've told the story I think a fucking billion times on these episodes, but my buddy Chris was on here and he called me Jake like 10
Right.
times. So I was like, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, might as well.
So I introduced myself now as Chris Marks, aka Jake Peary, and that's it. That's how I do it.
Yeah.
Whatever. I like Chris Marks better for the name. I feel like it sounds more
Where did that come from?
radio. So that came from another story that I've told. That came from every Chris I've ever met is crazy, and be it in a good way or not with it. The
Okay.
guy that I was thinking of who I interviewed is in a good way. He's one of the best musicians I've ever met. He's nuts, but he's awesome. He's nuts in a really good way. He's just very, very creative and bold as a personality.
Yeah.
And then I know way too many marks. That's what that came to, is that I know way too many goddamn marks.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but and then Kellen added on to that. Kellen said he goes, I know way too many marks too, and every mark that I've ever met is really weird. And I sat there and I thought about it, and until I thought of Mark at Thirsty
I could
Planet,
see that.
I was like, yeah, every Mark I've known is really weird too. So we're betting that Mark's gonna be weird at some point.
I probably only know like 2 marks. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Other than the Mark at Thirsty Planet, the other Mark is fairly weird guy.
Fairly weird guy. Yeah.
Very cool, but
Is he in the beer
Fairly
industry or is he not even close?
no, knew him from high school
Hmm.
and he was Marine and stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, most of
Yeah.
those guys are.
No,
they're
I'm
pretty
with
crazy.
Yeah, I'm with you. My stepdad's ex-Marine, and it's true. Yeah, they do some shit to you there, man. They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even like in, ground zero, like battle and shit. He's on an airplane but still hearing some of the stories where they, he's, I can't remember exactly what he was, like the crew chief or whatever
yeah.
on a C-130 or whatever
Yeah.
the Marines call them.
I don't
And
know.
they'd be up in there for like 20 hours
Yeah.
fueling jets and,
Yeah.
he's sitting there doing math on a notepad and just like goddamn.
Yeah.
That's fucking hardcore. And probably making like 30 grand.
Yeah.
you
I'm
know?
sure. Yeah. That's freaking funny, man. Hey, so if you don't mind, so I know you volunteer here at Thirsty Planet. You're doing other stuff in the beer industry. You used to work for Keg One, right?
Yep.
Cool. What'd you do there?
Sales at convenience stores. So
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dealing with like Pakistanis and
yeah.
Indians and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah. How
Didn't have
long
a
did you work? How long did you work there?
About 5.5 years.
Damn, dude. Cool.
Long time. Before that, was a claims adjuster.
All right.
Weird.
All right.
At
yeah.
USAA.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because I needed a job out of college.
Yeah.
So my brother worked there and kind of got me in the door. But
Yeah.
the job was horrible. Like,
Okay.
you're just on the phone all day long.
Oh, it's yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible. The company is badass, but like
What company was it?
USAA.
USAA. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So did my little like 8-month stint in San Antonio.
For
and,
sure. So what got you into Keg One? How'd you get into there then?
So I had when I applied there, they were Syntex,
Mm-hmm.
and one of my friends, I guess, had done a little internship with them during the summer when he was in college because he ended up working at for Miller,
Okay.
like before the Miller Coors merger,
Yeah.
and he kind of introduced me to them. Applied with them, didn't get the job. They gave it to somebody else.
That's
So,
shitty.
because I didn't have any experience
Yeah.
with doing sales
Yeah.
or with beer,
Yeah.
so they gave it to somebody in house, and so I got started working at USAA, and then 8-9 months later, they call me, the job's open if you want it, and I was like, hell yeah, I want to move back to Austin.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Wait, where were you living then?
San Antonio.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. Did you say that earlier? You might
yeah.
have said that earlier. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Losing off of it. Cool.
So yeah, it was fun. It was monotonous, and because you're just like selling to the same people all the time,
Right. Right.
Dylan have the same problems,
Right.
checking fucking beer dates and stuff
Right.
is horrible. So
I had looked into, well, did more than look into. I had, I guess, what would be called a hookup, with Republic before I did any volunteering around, and with this amazing girl it was one of a classmate of mine, freaking one of their top sales girls. She's the nicest girl in the world. She hooks me up. She's like, yeah. She's like, you had said the first day that you're looking into getting the alcohol industry. I used to, this is one of my last few weeks working here, but I've always done well here. I know they're looking for new people. Give me your resume. I'm going to get over there. I know with your experience that you'll be able to get in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck yeah. All right, man.
Hell yeah.
Sounds awesome. And so I'm sitting there and I send over the resume. I don't hear anything. Nothing at all. I'm like, hey, did you hear anything back? She's like, no, I haven't heard anything back. I was like, okay.
Republic's like that.
Yeah. And so I waited like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I was like, normally if it was just me, I'd probably check up a little bit sooner, but I was just like, no, she's got it. Okay. Send them an email and they're like, I hear nothing back. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. So I asked her in class, I'm like, hey, have you heard anything back? And she's asking me constantly every week. She's like, have you heard anything back? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
It's like, and she's like, oh, they'll get back. I was like, okay, cool. They'll get back to me. Fine, whatever. So I don't get any response. And then finally, like a month and a half later, I get a response back that basically said, essentially, stop talking to me. We don't want you. You don't fit our criteria. And I mean, it was more elegantly put than that, but that's
Yeah.
what it said.
Huh.
And
Like, why would it take so long?
right
just to say that?
And so I was just like, well, what are you looking for? Is there anything I can do? Let me just please talk to you. I can tell you about my experience. I know my resume doesn't say everything.
Yeah.
Like I know Florencia was one of your best people. That was the girl's name. And she was like, she basically said something to the order of give up. And I was just like, what the hell? And so I go and talk to the girl, right? And she says, she's like, hey, so did you get contacted by Republic? I said, yeah. She was like, yeah, me too. I was like, what? And she was like, yeah. So my manager texts me back and basically says, hey, you don't have to worry about that guy anymore. I've taken care of it.
What?
And she was like, I was trying to get him a job and trying to help you out with this. And she was like, well,
That's weird.
we don't want it. And I was like,
Huh.
okay. And
Yeah. That's
and
weird.
so she tried to text her back, and the manager never texted her back again. And it was just like one of those things where she was like, I don't know what the hell just happened. Like, I really have no idea.
How are people
what
like
just
that
happened?
at managers?
Right.
You
And
know?
it was like, I didn't even, like, it wasn't like I was, like, stalking the lady or anything. I sent
Right.
her, I think, a total of 2 emails. I might have called her once. where Florencia, where I asked Florencia, she told me, she was like, here's her number.
Yeah.
I was like, you sure you want me to call? She's like, yeah, just give her a call. No, I know her really well. Don't worry about it. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I left her a message. And so, yeah. So I left her 2 emails and a voicemail. And that was a span of a month and a half. So this isn't like
That's not much.
Yeah, this is not like I'm sitting here and like every day, hey, what's going on? You know what I mean? I was like, no, just
Give me
casually.
a goddamn answer.
Casually, I was like, hey, I know you're busy. You know, have you gotten a chance to check it out? And I was just like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I was just like, I never had a response like that too. I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
well, I haven't done anything to
Well.
you. Yeah, I was like, what the hell? And it's funny because a few weeks later, I had met Julian,
Mm-hmm.
who you know Julian,
Yeah.
and I had talked to him about it, and he was like, that's fucking weird, man. And I was
Yeah.
just like, I don't even know, man. He goes,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Hey, at least you got a response. I applied to Republic like twice.
Yeah.
And I even knew the guys.
Yeah.
That
Well,
I knew at least
okay, so
3 or
even
4 of the
farther.
guys
Yeah.
working there.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just didn't return any. Yeah.
That's shitty, man.
Yeah.
So
For
actually,
open positions, it's like, why even have this up on your website for an open job if you're not gonna reply to anything?
Right. Okay, so actually, let's keep going on this because before I got hired at Thursday Planet, we were in the same freaking boat, and we've been talking about this for a while now. So I
Yeah.
got another story with this. So there's another company. So Western Governors University. What the hell I was going to end up doing for them, I don't know.
What is that?
It's another one of the online colleges with it,
Okay.
right? And they apparently won a bunch of awards, whatever, going through with this, right? But I'm sitting here and they played me for one thing, which everybody's playing everybody, of course, in the job hiring business. It's stupid, but they are. It's fucked up. But I made it all the way to the end, which is 3 interviews down the fucking line, mind you, with this.
Damn.
And they're like, the guy basically, so I'd heard from someone previous that they're like, yeah, if you get called back from this interview, you got the job. And I got called back. I was like, all right, I got the job. He's like, he knew people would work there. I was like, okay, I got the job.
Yeah.
And so I was trying, they're like, yeah, we're going to be doing training on this time. We're going to be doing this on this time. I was like, okay. So I got through. I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to be doing this. And I was like, okay. No call. No nothing to confirm anything else. I was like, okay. So they had asked me.
Just show up.
Yeah, they'd called me and they'd asked me to fill out the actual application afterwards, saying it. And they said, hey, fill out the application. This is the next step in the process. So I was like, okay, cool. I was like, so I guess I got the job. I don't know, maybe not, whatever. And so again, like something like 3 weeks passed by. I'm like, what the fuck? And they told me when training was. They told me when training was. So I'm just like, okay, well, I know training is in like 2.5 weeks, so we should probably get the ball rolling. I don't know why you would have told me when training, and they told, no, so not only did they tell me training, they told me my salary, they told me the benefits, and they told me when training was. I was like, okay,
Right.
I have the job. That was my thought process with here. I was like,
Yeah.
I guess I haven't signed a job offer, but I guess they're going to do that first day of training. Something like, this is official, do your W-2, whatever, W-9,
Sure.
whatever. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
And no one responds to me. And so I find a way to find this lady and like leave her a message like, hey, is there something going on with my email? Is something going on? What's going on? Never contacts me. Doesn't contact me about anything. Months go by, and she contacts me all of a sudden, and I'm pissed. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd been pissed, and I got over it.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever. I was like, I don't even understand what just happened. Why the hell would you even go over this with me if you weren't giving me
Right.
the job? I'm already pissed from doing other interviews, but I was like, I thought I had gotten this done. And she finally sends me an email back, and she's like, hey, I know you didn't get picked the last round, but would you still be interested? I was like, what? and I was just like, yeah. And then I sat there. I was like, I wonder if these people remember me. I wonder if she remembers the voicemails I left her down and everything.
I mean, did they
Never.
know? Did they remember you?
Never contacted me again after that
God
email.
bless.
I think they realized that it was me, that I had bothered her that whole time. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Idiots.
It's like, how do you treat people like that? And I remember talking about it in class one night for my management class, and I was just like, And my teacher was just like, yeah, but that's how they keep you strung along. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
I essentially, in other words, was like, well, that's fucked up. It's like, that's pretty
It's-
fucked up.
It's all
So-
management and like power techniques.
Right.
You
I
know,
was just like, you think I have fucking
It's
time
ridiculous.
for you? I
Yeah.
don't got fucking time for
Yeah.
this shit. You don't got time. You think you don't got time? I don't got time. I'm
Right.
not making any money. You're making money.
Right.
You have time.
Right. yeah.
So fucking A,
God.
man. Oh god.
So
The struggle. Go.
I realized the pot house that got busted is like right around the corner from here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
You know-
it was
you
off
know-
of Alexandria, right?
You know what my response to Hannah was? She texted me about that. I didn't know about that, right?
Yeah.
She was like, so a house got busted down like a block down from
Yeah.
us. I was like, oh yeah. She's like, yeah, I
Just
got busted. I
filled.
was like,
Did you
I
see
was like,
pictures of it?
No, no.
Oh my
Well,
god.
we should look at those.
was just filled.
Yeah. She
Filled
so
with
she
pot.
texted me. She's like, oh yeah, it got busted. It was a grow house. I was like, so you're telling me I could have gotten my drugs like from a
Yeah.
fucking block radius
Yeah.
from here?
You just walk. Just
It's like,
walked it.
motherfucker, I could have
Yeah.
walked to there. I was like, do you know how long I've been going?
Yeah. I'm like, that is awesome.
That's,
Just in the middle of a neighborhood.
That's
know?
funny as shit. No, I mean, I had no fucking idea. I didn't see cops
Nobody knew.
watching. I didn't see anything, man. That's funny.
I wonder how they like found out.
I wonder how they did too, because so there. If you look down the street right here, you know how there's that row of houses that's randomly not in a neighborhood right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd seen cops there a few times, and I was like, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if it actually kind of seemed like a cop lived there, or was like a relative of someone who lived there, because it never looked like a disturbance of any
Yeah.
kind. It just kind of was like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy's pulling up here, and that's it, and that's it.
Right.
No lights on, nothing. It was just like, it kind of seemed like, oh, this is probably their like cousin or brother or something, you
Yeah.
know, with this. But I've never seen any activity going anywhere around there. That's the only activity I've seen was right there. And I
Yeah.
always wondered, I was like sitting there, I was like, is there like some kind of like stakeout thing going on? But again,
genius.
it could just be someone who's a fucking cop who's a relative. I mean,
Sure.
so
I mean, that's genius. Just have a
that would
house
be, I mean,
in the
that
middle
would
of
be
a neighborhood.
genius with it. Yeah.
Nobody knows.
No.
You know?
Did you see the pictures that were from like Boston and Washington and shit when the snowpocalypse came through, and they were just like, so we know who grows weed, and it's like you see all of these houses that are like covered in snow, and then one is completely like gone. There's no
Yeah.
snow on that roof.
They've got a
The
generator
entire-
and the lights
yeah,
on.
Yeah,
and-
there's no snow, and the captions below is like, the blah 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 PD thanks you for letting for letting us know
That's awesome.
who's growing some weed.
grow houses and like crack
Yeah.
meth houses and stuff.
Yeah. I have a well, not a buddy of mine. I knew the guy back from high school who actually is now works in the fields over in Colorado. Yeah, like doing all I don't know. I don't know if he's just growing or cropping it. What do you call that? Cultivating? I don't know.
You're like a trimmer.
Yeah, trimmer. Yeah,
Yeah.
does that.
One of my friends that lives here, I guess, invested in a farm in California,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he was like, yeah, man, if you want to do that for this season, I can get you up there, and
Yeah,
you trim for a couple months,
there you go.
make a bunch of money, and have free weed and stuff. I was like, I don't know, man, that seems like still pretty risky, because
right.
you never know if it's like a legal farm or
Yeah.
illegal farm,
Yeah.
and it's like, I really don't want to go to jail. I will do
Yeah,
almost
I'm-
anything
I'm-
to not
I'm
go to
with
jail.
You. I'm with you. I will do pretty much anything
Yeah.
to not go to
Yeah.
jail.
But like, if you could get one big score, I mean, would you do that? If you could make like
Yeah.
$100
Yes.
grand,
Yes, I would.
yeah.
Yes, I would.
So what would be like the minimum score?
I don't know. I mean, one of my favorite stories, and this is, within the last 2 episodes, all I've thought is like, man, if my parents or her parents ever hear this, I'm just going to kind of be like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. I mean, you didn't know about it, but it's here now.
It's all fake. It's radio.
It's not fake.
It's radio. It's fake.
Yeah, it's fake.
Yeah.
Oh, no. One of our greatest stories is we moved a pound of weed across the country. So that was cool.
Huh. Why? Just
Because we found it cheaper down here than up in Chicago, and that was it.
huh. So
we knew a guy.
took it from here up to Chicago?
Right. We knew a guy down here who could get like the shit that we were finding. We were looking for some blunt weed. That's what we were looking for. We were looking for some weed.
So not like
right. We
super
were
good.
looking for some shit that we could roll a bunch of blunts and just go
Right.
crazy with on
Yeah.
a daily basis.
Right.
We weren't looking for some shit that would be like one hitter quitter.
Yeah.
Because all of us were kind of in the mentality where like we're fucking sick of this shit that's just like one hit and we're just done.
Right.
Can't even function. We're like, man,
What's
we
the
just
point?
want to. We just want to.
I mean, it's good for certain things.
it's
Like
good
if you
for
just
certain
want to like
things.
go to bed.
Well, it's like the same
know.
shit of like taking of if you're gonna drink Everclear, it's good for certain things, right? But there's, I mean,
Okay.
you like beer versus Everclear, it's a different
Right.
thing, you know. I mean, so we want some shit that we could chill and smoke on.
Yeah.
And we're like, man, we've got some really good fucking mids down here, and we knew guys who had some really good connections to it, and so we went and did that, and we're like, well, we're gonna be down here for spring break anyway, and we went and got it. And then we knew a dude who owned a U-Haul facility.
Yeah.
And so we went and picked this shit up. The fucking dude that we get this from.
You
by
took it
the
back
way-
in a U-Haul?
No. We took it back in my car.
Uh-huh.
But the guy that we knew knew the dealer, and the dealer was nice as fuck, but it was funny as shit because he rolls up in a Chrysler 300
Uh-huh.
right when the Chrysler 300 like first came out.
So
And
like
he's
a
like
gangster
fucking.
or what?
Oh yeah, he's fucking
Yeah.
gangster shit, and he's so black that we're there at like 11 o'clock at night, and you can't see anything but his fucking eyes.
He smiled.
That's
see his
how
teeth.
black he was. I was just, and it was funny as shit because he was the nicest dude ever. But it was like, dude, I can't fucking see you right now. Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't even see the dude. And he was cool. We chilled with him for a second, and it, this is not supposed to sound racist, but because it's completely true. The fucking dude looked like Biggie Smalls. He looked exactly like fucking Biggie.
I don't think that's racist. That's more about like his weight than anything.
Right. Well, okay, I guess it is, but I feel like it was like a generalization. I'm just like, this dude, he's a black dude and he deals with, he looks like Biggie Smalls.
I mean, would you say that about a white person that is fat? Probably not.
Well, I probably
You'd
not
probably
say it
compare
looks
him to
like
something else, I guess. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, well, but not only like fat, but he was huge. Like he was a fucking big dude, man.
Yeah.
Like he was a huge dude.
Just rolling around in his Chrysler.
Oh, dude, yeah. But he was really cool. But he gave me his number. He actually was gonna be in Chicago like the next week.
Uh-huh.
He was like, hit me up, and we never did. We should have. We should have totally done that again.
That would have been wild.
But I didn't even. But we got preoccupied with something. We never ended up doing it. But we should have done it. But anyway, in the back of my car, I drove a Matrix. I drove a 2006 Toyota Matrix,
Okay.
and in the back of
It's
my
like
car,
a hatchback, right?
right?
Yeah.
It had at the bottom. So in the back of the hatchback, there's the rug that went down, and then
Yeah.
below that was where the spare tire and all the tools were.
Yeah.
If you didn't know how this car worked, you would not know to look at any of this. There's 3 levels that went in through there.
Uh-huh.
So we took a big fucking Tupperware bowl
Uh-huh.
and we put the fucking pound in there and covered in coffee grounds, duct taped the shit out of it, and it fit the exact size of a spare tire. Put that shit in there and locked it up. Put the rug over it. You would have no fucking idea. It was perfect.
Why coffee?
Coffee grounds
Grounds.
take away the smell.
I mean, did it smell pretty bad?
Yeah, it was pretty dank.
Even through the-
yeah.
The Tupperware and everything?
Well, I mean, I have no experience with drug dogs. I
Right.
couldn't tell you. We never ran into one, so that was nice. But
Sure.
I do know it neutralizes it. They use it like with in perfume or cologne stores, as well as any place that you go that has any kind of like smelly food or anything like that. They have coffee grounds around that will like, especially if like you're doing a tasting, it'll like reset your palate with it because it's like such an engulfing smell.
I had no idea.
But it took it away.
Yeah.
That's like supposed to be like the way to sneak drugs around is like that's what you always hear is like throw it in a fucking thing of coffee.
Right.
Would that fucking work? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Speaking of which, another fun story with that. Accidentally brought drugs on an airplane.
Accidentally.
Did not know. No, seriously, completely accidentally. Had no idea. Was so glad. And it was actually that weed. It was that
really?
weed. Yeah.
Bringing
And
it
was-
back to Austin?
So I was no, I think that was to Houston because that was
Okay.
before I moved here. But I always worry about my suitcases because I'm always like, fuck, Is there something fucking in there? And honestly, until recently, I hadn't smoked at all.
Yeah.
Like I'd been going through like interviews and shit, and so like for like a good 8 months, I hadn't done anything.
Yeah.
Except drink, and I still always worry.
Yeah.
Every time I go anywhere, I'm like, fuck, there's gonna be some shit in here.
I mean, if you had a pound, you never know
Right.
where you're gonna put that.
Right.
You know, it's
I was just like,
you could have it here and there,
fuck.
you know.
I was just like, shit,
crazy.
I don't know where this is, but I always like to think of that story. But you're going back to it of what your price would be on the score.
Right.
And for a score, I don't know what the price of a pound is anymore. So I mean, what?
Probably like under 3,000.
But what are you doing in this score? Are you robbing a field, or are you just working there? Are you
Or like transporting, say, from like California to Austin. Like,
see, that's easier.
10,000 pounds.
See, that's
worth.
easier because if it's across the border, that would be a difficult thing. To Austin, that would be super easy.
Because he also did offer to transport it from California to Austin.
Dude, bro, your
Like
guy is on an
100
illegal
pounds.
field.
Like 100 pounds.
That's an illegal. Oh god.
I was like,
that's an illegal
you know-
field. That is not a legal field that he's doing.
but you think about it, it's like you could make 10 grand
I guess he's doing both.
in a
He
couple
could do
days.
both. Yeah,
you know?
you could.
It's
yeah.
like, but if you get caught,
honestly though.
you're fucked.
Yeah, but that's
You
super.
are
That's super
fucked.
fucking easy though. If you're sober, like that's the biggest point there. If you're sober and going the speed limit, or even 5 above, make you even look even less conspicuous, and you're driving an RV or something, you'd
Well,
fucking totally get away with
The
it.
hard part would be getting it out of the farm, like out of the county in California. I mean, once you're out of that,
Yeah,
it's smooth sailing.
yeah,
Like,
because you're gonna
as
look
long as you go the
suspicious coming
speed
out of
limit
that.
and
You're
you
gonna
don't
look
drive,
suspicious coming out of that.
if
yeah.
you don't drive like a dickhead, like they'll
You're
never know
done.
where you're coming
done.
from.
Yeah, you're not gonna get checked
So
by anybody.
that's what I would be worried about, is just like leaving where you're picking it up from.
right.
Supposedly, the guy that brings it here uses like a horse trailer, and has like horses and
Oh
shit.
shit! So I'm thinking of fucking like
So-
carriage. Like that's all I'm thinking when you said a horse trailer.
Yeah.
No, fucking trailer for horses.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
has that
Big
has
old
holes in the
truck
side
and
of it.
horses.
That has holes in the side of it.
Yeah, but who the hell is going to look into a horse trailer that has horses?
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
Okay.
you just looks like
Okay.
you're coming from a ranch or whatever.
Okay. I mean, I feel like that's even overkill. I mean,
Maybe.
okay. So actually,
I was like,
guess,
I'd just get like a U-Haul, look
Yeah.
like I'm moving.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. That's my thought.
put
I'm
a
with
bunch of
you.
shit.
No one's gonna
stacked
fucking
up.
check that. Not
Yeah.
even if you got pulled over, is anyone going to check that?
So $10,000 is not high enough for me to do it.
$10,000. The only reason I say it's not high enough is I feel like I could get more. It's not even the fact that I wouldn't do it for 10,000. It's I feel like I could get more out of it.
Sure.
So okay, so here's my thought with this. So first off, my question is the guys who actually move this for a dispensary, when they're actually shipping this to a dispensary and everything, do they have some sort of license for this to do this?
Like in Colorado.
Yeah. Do they have a special license for moving this, or some kind of special truck?
Well, I mean, they can't. Probably not. If they're
No?
just moving it from like their farm in Colorado to
the
their
dispensary?
dispensary in Colorado, probably not. I mean,
Well, okay,
because it's
so,
legal
So that takes
now.
one,
From like Colorado to Texas is illegal. You
right.
can't do that.
But that takes one theory out, because my initial idea would be, well, fuck, I'm gonna get this dude who has the special license to drive it. We'll make it out of the county, and then we're fucking home sailing. That's it. Because if you get pulled over, he's like, motherfucker, I'm going to dispensary. We're done.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
That's it. And if he questions it, he's like, well, you're going this way, and be like, yeah, this is
Yeah.
the way I take. I had to make a stop really quick. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? You have the license
know.
for it. You're good to go. All right? So
If there's, I don't think
don't
there's
know.
a license.
I feel like there isn't. I feel
Yeah.
like that would make it way too easy.
I've never heard of
I
anything.
feel like that'd be like super easy. There's a fucking distribution system like fucking Keg One or Capital going on for
yeah.
fucking pot.
That would be badass. I mean,
Someone's
might
gonna
be.
do it. Someone's gonna do it. That's gonna happen.
yeah.
That is totally.
I mean,
gonna
there probably
happen.
is for like the edibles and
Yeah.
the drinks and
that
all that
definitely
shit.
exists, but I feel like that's in like people's regular vans. I feel
Yeah.
like that's like catering vans. I
Right.
feel like you know what I
Like
mean?
flower
I feel,
vans.
yeah.
Like a box van. Yeah.
No, but I mean, but I don't know. Like, I mean, 10,000 is enough for me. That's not that far. Dude, California and Texas are super close.
But if you get caught, you're going to jail for probably 10 years.
yeah.
So there's that. You know, it's
I don't know. It's just kind of getting my adrenaline up. Like,
To me, it's kind of like I don't really like to play the lottery, but I will play pot odds. So if the pot is like $500 million,
yeah,
sure, I'll play lottery, a few bucks or whatever.
yeah,
To me, it's kind of the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna take that chance,
yeah,
it has to be a lot of money.
yeah. But the
100,000 would be a lot.
The chance could be.
But then it's like, what are you gonna do with $100,000 that you can't put into the bank?
Well, yeah, and
You
see,
know,
that's
it's
actually
like-
what I was gonna come to when you started saying that. I was like, that's the problem you're gonna run into, right? Is that the tax is what would give you away with something. But
You don't pay tax on it. It's all cash.
I know, but the problem is though, is when you buy something of a large amount. I guess it doesn't matter.
Well, it's all cash. So nobody knows that what you're buying.
Nobody knows what you're buying, but the thing is that I guess that's true. If you ever got audited, that's where the problem would be. Like, is where did this cash come from? But what's the chance of you getting audited, right? So I guess
Yeah, but when they audit you, they don't look at like your assets. So say if you buy like
they totally
10
look at that.
guitars, but how would they ever know? You just take it somewhere.
Well,
put it in a fucking garage.
they wouldn't. They just keep you under investigation. That would be, and so I guess at that point again, you've already made your money. It doesn't matter,
right.
right? So I mean, so again, I guess that doesn't matter.
Just say somebody fucking gave it to you.
Fuck, I don't know, man. Okay, so like that brings us to the idea. Who was I talking with this about? I don't remember who I was talking about this with. I feel like it was on a podcast. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the problem with drinking during podcasts. You don't remember half the fucking shit you talked about.
Hey.
But
Nothing
every
wrong with
guy
that.
wants to be part of a heist. Every guy, that's a Dane Cook joke too, I'm pretty sure. Yes. Of where it's every guy wants to be part of a fucking heist. And it's totally true. Any guy you ever talk to, that is one of their it's like a fake bucket list item because it'll never happen. But every guy you want to talk to, if there was no fucking chance of you getting caught, would go, I'd be in a heist any day.
Oh, if there was no chance of getting caught,
Right,
hell yeah.
but that's the only thing holding you back, right? That's the only thing. There's no moral and ethical implications.
That's what holds me back from doing anything. Otherwise, I'd be just going ape shit.
There's no moral and ethical implications happening, and I love that.
Oh,
because
fuck
you're
no.
totally right. You're totally right. Because that's the only thing that holds anybody back. It's like, man, I could get caught. I could go to jail. That's the only thing. Not the fact that you're stealing from anybody who had money.
That's why there's not. That's why I don't own 20 houses that are fucking full of weed plants.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, it's like,
yeah.
I don't want to get caught.
Yeah. That's what it is, man. And it's funny because that's always the exact same answer. I have not met a guy yet that has said that, well, no, I wouldn't feel right doing that. No, fuck that.
See, the thing is, the reason why you wouldn't feel too bad about it unless you like hurt somebody, all the money is insured by the government.
That's true.
So it doesn't matter if you
But
take
who pays
somebody,
into the government?
Banks. Dude, I don't know how all the money works. Shit. It's coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
But like robbing a bank isn't really normal anymore. It's all
No, it's not.
online and cyber stealing and all that shit.
So
I don't know what people call it now, but
No,
you know.
you're right. So two things on that. First thing is that so I was on the Chive the other day for Let's Going Down, and one of the pictures was of like a guy next to a television. The television read on a breaking news. It was just like such and such bank robbed, and you see this guy's face. And then the guy who's next to the TV is the guy looks exactly like the guy who robbed the bank. And there's no caption below this Chive post. And all I'm sitting here thinking, I was like, Is that the
Yeah.
fucking dude who robbed the bank? Like, they don't let you know.
Right.
It's like, did he look just like the guy? Or is this the motherfucker who robbed the bank?
Yeah.
And he's like, motherfuckers, I'm
Yeah.
right here. I did this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well, it's
so-
like on Chappelle, like people do still steal radios.
people do still steal radios, you know. No, yeah.
Fucking Tyrone.
Yeah, fucking Tyrone.
God.
But fuck. No, there's that, and then so I guess there's a supposedly supposed to be a news story tonight on some fucking station. I don't remember what it was, but it was on the radio today that they interviewed, I can't remember his name, the guy from Catch Me If You Can, one of the famous
I heard some stuff about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
so they interviewed him again, and basically this time, instead of like saying what he did, he's saying how to prevent it and how easy it is nowadays
Right.
because he's experienced, you know, with
Yeah.
it. But I was kind of just sitting there listening to this, and they go to some girl afterwards, and furthermore, a girl had this email that she almost got her stuff hacked. And the girl immediately who comes on there talking is like, yeah, so I had my email open. And I'm just like, bitch, you were the one who fucking got hacked by the Nigerian prince.
Dang.
I was like, how am I supposed to take advice from you?
Yeah.
You're the girl who's like, oh, a Nigerian prince wants to talk to me? I should give him my phone number. Like, are you fucking kidding me right now? I was
Why
just
are
like,
people so stupid?
dude, I don't know. Who falls for those? See, you sit there
I
though, and it's the same shit of when you see pictures of people at Walmart, and you're just like, you like to think in your head, you're just like, how does this exist? And then you see those pictures or you see those emails, and you're like, no, it exists. It exists. And then it makes you for a second feel like so much better about yourself. And then the next second afterwards is, oh my God, what the fuck am I living in?
So, craziest story, one of the craziest stories I've ever heard.
Do it.
My, it was one of my old roommates moved up to Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say his name.
Okay.
And
Eminem.
he's actually not the one who told me about this. His brother was hanging out with us at our house one night. And so, I mean, like, guys look at porn, whatever.
Yeah.
But he kind of, my friend, I guess, does that one step more. Like, he'll just keep clicking things.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, hell yeah, let's do this. So, I guess he got to this point.
Wait a minute. Is he the guy who's one step more that's like, you saw something weird and is like, I gotta click on this?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say, is he
Right.
that level, or
like-
is he the guy that's sitting there
I don't
clicking
know
on
if
the
it's
pop-ups?
something weird.
Yeah, is he clicking on the pop-ups? Because that's the only reason.
I mean, I don't know if it was something weird.
Well, no,
you
no,
know,
no,
something
well,
that he's
okay,
into.
I
But
mean-
he's
I
like, hell yeah, I gotta
mean-
see this girl, whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, in general, I feel like his guys, at least 9 out of 10 guys that you talk to will
Yeah.
say, if some weird headline comes up, you're like, okay, I gotta click it. I mean, you're gonna regret
I
it, but you're
mean-
like, I gotta click it.
I don't really do that. Yeah, stuff like that kind of grosses me out. But
No, I'm with you. But it's typically it's a click
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, okay.
yeah,
No more hard on.
yeah. So,
This is gone.
so I guess he's going at it, like
Yeah.
going
yeah,
at it
yeah.
on himself, and I guess he's watching a video or whatever,
Yeah.
and I guess this this guy pops up on the screen and basically like starts talking to him and is like
Like
hey,
a real
so-
guy or
yeah,
like
a real
animated?
guy,
Oh,
like
that's weird.
talking to him,
That would scare the fuck out of me.
right,
Yeah.
looking at him through, like they can look at you through your video camera. Like you have a camera on your fucking computer right now.
They hacked.
Somebody can look at you through your camera even though you're not using it.
Scaring me so much right now. What's
Crazy,
going on?
right?
Yeah. No, it's true.
So the guy like starts blackmailing him and is like, so you better give me this much money or I'm gonna, like, I just recorded everything that you were doing and I'm gonna post it online if you don't give me like $5,000 or however much it was.
Yeah.
So I mean at this point he's like freaking out and I guess pays him the first time and is like, and he still like has him hostage or whatever, and is like, well, that money went through, but now you got to give me an extra whatever.
See, but
So
how do you even know that he's actually talking to you, right?
because he could see him move around. He could see what he's doing.
Oh, so he
Yeah,
completely hacked
he
into
told
it.
him like he couldn't leave the room. He's like, well, what if I need to go to the bathroom? You can't go to the bathroom. So I guess this goes on for hours, and he's like, I guess so. My friend has an AK-47,
Yeah.
and we don't know if he was being serious or if he was just like trying to get the guy off of his case. But I guess he like went and got his gun, like started pointing it at his head, and was like, dude, my life is over. Fuck this shit. Like, you just ruined my life. I'm just going to end it. And I guess the guy was finally just like, no, don't do it. We're done. This is over. And like was off of his computer after he sent him like $5,000 or $10,000 or whatever.
What
Like,
the
how
fuck
crazy
was your
is that
friend
shit?
looking at that would make him?
I mean, I can't. It's probably one of those like live. You know how like a live cam or whatever.
Right, but I mean, all I'm thinking is, who the fuck cares about that? Is he watching a?
But the hackers go through those like
yeah,
channels.
but I mean, I don't. Who the fuck cares? I mean, maybe I'm just someone. You know what? I guess other people are like more embarrassed about shit.
I mean, it depends on what they caught him doing. I mean, who knows what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean,
like,
I mean, who the fuck knows? But to me, like, I mean, I don't give a fuck. What are you going to do? You're gonna fucking post all the shit that says me? First off, how the fuck are you? And who the hell is gonna stand up and say, "Oh, I knew this guy and he did this," blah 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 blah? What the fuck are you going to do?
Yeah.
Second off, is I just can't really think of anything that I mean, I guess I'm a really open person. I just don't give a fuck.
I mean, if you're just like, if you're
just
standing
don't
up,
care.
going to town, and like choking yourself, would you really want that posted on the internet?
Well, shit. If
Not
you're
that I'm
doing
saying that's what he
I
did,
mean,
but
no, I mean, I don't know. But again, I guess I'm not doing that, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, dude. That's what I was saying before. Is
exactly.
Like,
I
this
mean,
is-
I don't do that shit either, but
No.
no.
But
Maybe that's how it gets his jollies. I don't fucking know.
No, for sure. No, for sure. To each your own, whatever, No, but I guess
I wouldn't want somebody like posting a video of me jerking off online.
But who's gonna find
Not that
it?
I'm super like
No.
ashamed of it or whatever.
No, but for the first thing is who's gonna find it? First off,
I
with it.
mean,
Second off,
you never know. But like, he's got a career. I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
No, there is. I get
lose.
that. I get that. I guess it also depends on what career you're in.
Yeah.
But I guess the other thing is that I guess it really I mean, we back to the conversation earlier of just like, I mean, there is definitely some shit of where I'll sit there and I'll be like, I'll see something going down and be like, oh god, I really don't want to see this, but man, I gotta click on it. God fuck, I gotta click on it. I gotta click on it. I'm like, oh,
you never know. You never know who's gonna find something like that.
I mean, it's just one of those things. So Jeff Foxworthy makes a joke that I remember, man, back from when I was a kid, of where he made a joke where he said, when you ever get something really smelly as a guy, you gotta smell it. It doesn't matter. It's like, and he talks about
Right.
stink bake
Yeah.
as fish. He's like, you
Yeah.
look at it and you're like,
Who can actually smell the
I
stink
gotta
bake?
fucking smell it. Like, you gotta
So
fucking
gross.
do it. And it's one of those things. It was just like, we're not, and to
Exactly.
clarify, because we get some backlash, even though I don't fucking care. I mean, the fucking tagline on my website says the podcast that will leave you smiling and possibly insulted. I don't fucking care what you think. I'm
Right.
gonna go ahead and say this with it. But the one thing that I will say with this is that we're not talking about like super offensive fucking crazy shit. We're just talking about crazy fucking shit here, okay?
Yeah.
And in the porn world, that can be a lot of things. And there's a lot of shit that you talk that
Who knows
that
what-
you're just like, oh,
Who knows what was
man,
going on, man?
You saw
I mean,
that.
it's
But,
bad
man,
enough
that's-
to where like he
No.
was paying money to
Right.
not have him show it.
There
You
was one time that freaked me out, and this actually wasn't with porn. I don't remember. I think it was with torrents. It was with torrents, and I was downloading something,
Mm-hmm.
and I got a pop up that basically said the FBI has locked your computer. You have this amount of time
Oh, shit.
to pay this amount of money. And I was like, first off, the FBI wouldn't require me to fucking pay money, but
Right.
you're freaked out.
Yeah.
It looks incredibly serious, and so I
Exactly.
go onto a separate mobile device, and I start typing. I'm like, "What the hell is this?" Finding out, and it actually was like all over the news that this is like, I mean, they emulated the FBI website like perfectly.
Yeah.
And it was just like, they're like, it's a scam, do not do it, but
Right.
like, oh my god, this is perfect. How
Yeah.
the hell did they do this? But that was the one time that I got
That's-
super scared, and the
that
reason
would freak me the shit out.
Right. and I mean, I guess I'll leave it at this. I'm a musician. There were past years of where I probably wasn't faithful about what I should have been doing as a musician. Past years, but
What do you mean?
torrents and stuff.
Oh,
before
just
that,
downloading music?
Yeah, well,
Oh.
not just downloading music, programs and everything else
Oh,
that I shouldn't have done during the time. Now not so much, but
it's like those people have so much fucking money. It's
Yeah.
like they don't need any more money, right?
yeah,
Like, who cares if people are downloading their songs and shit? Like, they already have millions of dollars. It's like,
right,
do you really need an extra $10 from me or whatever?
Right,
It's like,
right.
fuck you.
right. No,
In those the programs and all that stuff. It's like,
yeah, dude, I need.
I'm gonna get my stuff however the fuck I feel like I should be able to.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
And I mean, I guess you can get in trouble for that, but
yeah.
whatever.
Well, I mean, the most really that you get at any point today is typically a cease and desist. It's
Yeah.
just like, if you do not stop this at this
And
point, it's
You probably got to be downloading a shit ton of stuff
You do.
to like come up on somebody's radar.
You do.
I mean, just terabytes worth.
I'm nothing compared to what I was in
Oh,
middle
yeah.
school. When I was in middle school, holy fuck. The programs
Napster?
that I had, the programs that I had, dude, I had well over 10 grand worth of programs,
Damn.
and there actually wasn't that many of them. They're just
Programs.
the CAD series.
Why are you downloading all these programs?
Because I was an engineer. I was
Oh.
originally looking at being an engineer. I had all the CADs. I
Yeah.
had all of them good to go.
Why
Yes.
didn't you do engineering?
It just wasn't what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
It's funny. Well, first off, I'm gonna take a break for a second. We'll get into that because that's a really long story with that
Alright.
one. Because
Fair
it goes and involves all the rest of my family with it. But let's grab another beer and we'll be
Yep.
right back. Crazy stories. This has been fun. This has been really fun.
Yeah.
It's got nuts
Yeah.
right there. We're getting under investigation by the FBI. Fucking A. Yeah, like the FBI gives a fuck about us.
Hell no.
Anyway,
Which is
okay.
not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing at all. Okay, well, we'll be right back. I'm with Jeff Seal over here with Chillin' Man. Useless Threats, Chris Marks, Jake Perry, blah, blah, blah. Guy, bye. All right. Okay, so starting off where we left off, why I didn't do engineering. So let's preface this a little bit. My dad's an engineer. My grandfather on my mom's side is an engineer. My grandfather on my dad's side is an engineer. His father was an engineer. I
Yeah.
believe my grandfather on my mom's side was his dad was an engineer as well. I was supposed to be an engineer.
Runs in the family.
That's what I was supposed to do, and I'm good at it.
Yeah.
I will say I'm good at it. I was going to be a mechanical. That's what I liked doing. And then I just realized, man, fuck this shit. I was just like, I really hate
Yeah.
it, man.
Yeah.
And I didn't. Well, okay, I didn't hate engineering. I hated the idea of being in an office. I
Right.
hated the idea of showing up every day for a corporate job and like wearing a suit and everything. And that sounds like, oh, I'm like anti-establishment and stuff. It really has nothing to do with that. It
No.
just has to do with the
Being
fact
in
that
an office sucks.
I
it
can't
is
do
the
it.
worst. I will do anything I have to do to not
Right.
work in an office.
Right. And I am super fucking ADD, and it just sounded fucking horrible.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this. I'm going to go insane. I can't do it.
Yeah.
And actually after accepting that, I went into music for a while, and then I went and tried to go into the corporate thing again for about 8 months. That time that I said, and then I started volunteering at Thirsty Planet. I was like, what the fuck was I
Yeah.
ever thinking?
Yeah.
And I remember talking to my mom after I had like decided, wow, this is what I'm doing. And I was like, what the fuck was I thinking? Me in a suit. And my mom literally responded to me with, yeah, what the fuck were you thinking? It's just was
mean,
like,
And not all engineers work in an office, you know.
no, and that's true. But she just was just like,
And you make
she was
good
like,
money.
I never could have understood you being, because the time I was looking at volunteering, not volunteering, working in a bank. She's like, you never could have worked in a bank. I don't know. I just kind of let it go.
Yeah.
You said you're gonna do it. I was like, okay, whatever. You never could have worked in a bank. Never have
Yeah.
I ever known you to be someone who could work in a damn bank.
That seems like a horrible job.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I don't
Ooh,
know,
this
being an
is
engineer,
good.
it is good. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
But being an engineer at like an oil company probably wouldn't be that bad. Like one of probably my best
It's
friend,
not.
my best friend works at Halliburton, and so a bunch of us are like on this group text messaging. He's like, he sends us a picture on either a Thursday or Friday. Him and his wife are standing in front of a private jet. He's like, so we're about to take the Halliburton jet to the Keys. They're taking us to their like Halliburton compound for the weekend. Do fishing and just hang out and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, fuck. Tell them to come over to Austin. I'll go with you, you know. But
I've got relatives.
they like he did
that are-
fishing like for 3 days in a row on their 75-foot boat
Yeah.
yacht. You know, it's like that would be pretty sweet.
Right.
But
No,
I don't know.
I've got relatives in the industry that, I mean, it's incredible, but it's just not for me.
yeah, I mean it is pretty cutthroat too because for his position, there were like 2 or 3 other people that had been there for 20-something years, and they all were let go. And he's like the only one left.
Holy shit.
So yeah, he was because I talked to him like after the trip or whatever, and he was like, yeah, my boss called me at the end of the day. It had to have been on like a Thursday, and he was like, oh shit, they're about to fire me. So he
That's
like
a fucking terrible feeling. To
got
have.
on the phone with them, and his boss was like, so what are you doing this weekend? I hope you're not doing anything.
Uh-huh.
He's like, well, meet over at the airport. Bring your wife, you know. I was like, damn you. You fucking bastard. I want to go on a private jet. That's all I want to do.
I had a former boss of mine who I was good friends with. He was an awesome guy. He still is an awesome guy. I just haven't gotten to talk to him in a while. He used to have a friend when he was growing up that I think it was when he was in college, from the way he describes it with it, that this guy, his dad either owned an airline or was like super fucking high up in one. And basically the only rule you had with this guy was that you always had a backpack on you. And he used to always tell me this story. And they used to have bets of where when he'd call you up, you always had a backpack that was ready to go. And when he called you up, he'd tell you where you're going, and there would be a bet. The bet would be for how much money it would be. So basically, it would be like you put your bag in a locker in the airport or something like that, and it'd be like who could have the most fun off of $20 to wherever you're going, anywhere in the world.
Okay.
So shit like of where how long can you make $20 last? And you're talking about showing up in a place like Amsterdam or something like that with only $20 in your pocket. Who can have the best time over the weekend?
Huh.
And find a way to make that into more money.
That would be pretty fun.
And he used to do this shit all the time.
Huh.
He used to be this really big fucking soccer player, and so he'd get to go all over these places. But it was just like,
yeah.
He told me, he was like, dude, that was some of the craziest times he's ever had, is trying to make $20 or something like that.
Yeah.
Fucking last that entire time.
I wonder. I don't know what I would do. I mean,
I don't know either.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not a whole lot you can do with $20. That's
Probably
the thing.
find some high class fucking people and try and blend in. That'd probably be the best way.
But you can't really do that with $20.
Depends how you're dressed in the first place. If you're dressed the
Yeah.
right way in the first place, you probably could.
Yeah.
And so.
Huh.
And
That'd
it
be
might have been
fun.
more
I
than
mean, that'd be
$20.
fun.
You know what I mean? It might have been like $100. Who
Right.
knows? But holy shit. You know what I mean? What a fucking, and I mean that just gets my, I mean I think the older and older I get, I think I start realizing that I'm a little bit of an adrenaline junkie, and it's not about shit that I would die in. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that.
So what can raise your adrenaline that doesn't have the possibility of killing
moving
you?
a pound of weed across the country, sex, yeah. Just like insignificant fucking shit that you would essentially probably see on TV, you know what I mean? Sneaking into fucking giant concerts, you know what I mean? Getting yourself into like the guy just posted his thing on the Chive of where he had gotten into the Mayweather Pacquiao fight somehow in Leonardo DiCaprio's entourage and took pictures with all these giant A-list celebrities,
That's pretty
you know?
sweet.
You know, shit like that. You know what I mean? Like nothing that is like fucking going to die over. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
I don't know. I mean, everybody dies.
No, I mean, that's definitely true. I mean, I would definitely want to go skydiving. I haven't been doing that. I definitely want to go cliff jumping
I haven't done skydiving.
Fucking love cliff jumping.
Done bungee jumping.
That one freaks me out a little bit.
I've done it once. Was kind of drunk. Like one of my friends was like offered to pay for it. I was like, okay. It was in South Padre.
Okay.
Which probably was more risky, you know, because bungee jumping off of like a cliff, you know, into the ocean is something.
Yeah.
Is one thing, but it was like in the middle of a parking lot. So if it fails, you're going to be splattered on the concrete.
Yeah.
But you know, it was fun. It only lasted like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But I would probably do it again.
See, I mean, I love shit like that. I will say I definitely have a fear of heights.
Yeah.
Not an intense one, but like for example, like when we're loading like the grain bed at Thirsty Planet and there's that gate up there and it's open. It's not really like the fear of heights. It's more the fear that something's like I'm gonna be clumsy and I'm gonna fall.
And just fall off.
I don't have a fear of standing up there. That doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
It's more the fear that I'm not going to be paying attention to something and I'm gonna fuck some shit up.
Just fall off.
And that's really it's like a fear of falling, I guess, with it. But I don't fear falling though.
Right.
At the same time, so it's just more of like a fear of being like clumsiness because like I've done cliff jumping like 50 feet up in the air. I fucking want to do that again. That was amazing. But the idea that I could like fall onto concrete, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not really afraid of heights.
Yeah.
But it's weird because have you ever had a dream where you could like
lucid dream?
You can jump off of something and land like on the ground fine 50 feet. I have that every once in a while.
I mean,
it's
that
bizarre.
might have happened.
Yeah.
See,
I don't know. I have a lot of crazy dreams, man. Zombies. Do you have zombie dreams?
I have a lot of crazy dreams too. I had so crazy dreams, man. So I was actually kind of proud of myself with this. I don't know what has ever been up with this. I don't know if it's some kind of self-doubt or something with this, but I've always had this reoccurring dream of whenever I get into fights and dreams, like if I ever get into a fight with someone, I can't hit them. It's like every time I try and swing at them, it's like the most weak thing ever, or it's like I can't hit them. And I don't know what it is, and it bothers the shit out of me. And then I finally had a dream the other night where I beat the shit out of someone, and I was really happy about that.
Victory.
I don't know why that was. I really I mean, I don't know if there's like some inner kind of self-doubt that like I couldn't defend myself if the apocalypse happened or some shit. You know, I don't fucking know. It's weird as fuck.
You've got like the wavy inflatable arms man
arms.
Right. You know?
Like I don't know what that's about, but I guess I overcame it the other night.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
Hell yeah.
But it's been a weird reoccurring dream that I had to where I mean, I've always wanted to take more self-defense stuff. Like I know a little bit, but not much. And I always wanted. I mean, maybe it's that I'm not confident enough in it, or what. But and I'm not someone who excuse me, reads into dreams. I have such crazy dreams. I don't even want to know what those could be.
Most of mine are about zombies. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's weird as shit.
That's
And
pretty
they're never
crazy,
like
man.
super frightening, you know.
Yeah.
The craziest one was like where my friends turned into zombies,
Yeah.
and they knew I didn't want to be a zombie, so they like I could talk to them, they could talk to me, and they took me into this house, you know, and just protected me from zombies, you know. And one of them would like try to start biting me. I'd be like, "Dude, I don't want to be a fucking zombie, man.
Oh, sorry.
Leave me alone."
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
sorry. I apologize.
Sorry about that.
It's weird. I mean,
oh, that's fucking
who has
funny,
dreams
dude.
like that? It's bizarre.
No. Hey, man. I'm
So I
with
wake
you.
up and I'm like, "Oh, that was kind of a nice zombie dream."
I'm with you. One of my favorite writers. I don't read much. I should read more.
I hate reading. It's horrible.
I'm with you for the most part. I just it's not even that it's horrible for me. It's just that I just can't keep my goddamn concentration. And I don't care.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just like this guy.
It's not fun.
No,
I
it's
don't
not.
see the fun in it.
It's not. S.G. Brown is one of the only writers I've ever found that I've actually really liked, and he has a novel called Breathers, and it's about zombies.
Nice.
But it's from the perspective of a guy got into a car crash, and whoever he was with, I don't remember if his wife or whatever died, but he came back, and no one knows why they're coming back.
Mm-hmm.
But the fucking way this guy writes this is hilarious because this guy his whole attitude is so whatever you lose in the crash, say like, or however you die, he lost his vocal cords because of the way like the glass pierced or whatever, so he can't speak. So he goes around with a fucking whiteboard around his neck, and it's like the civil rights movement back in the fucking 60s. And people treat zombies like shit because they're just existing everywhere, and no one's eating humans.
That's awesome.
No one. There's no urge for this.
They're just zombies.
No,
wandering
and
around.
it gets into that. It gets into the human thing, but there's no urge for it. So they're just zombies walking around. No one knows why they're there. The zombies don't know why they're there. They're in these therapy like AA groups because they can't fucking deal with the fact that they're still alive. And it's hilarious. It's a great book, but he can't he can't communicate. And so he spends all day getting drunk in his parents' wine cellar and writing whatever he has to say, what few words he has to say on his
So
whiteboard.
why are they zombies? Because they're
No one
dead?
knows. No one knows.
I mean, are they dead?
They're
Like
undead.
what considers them like?
They die and then they come back. No one knows
Okay.
why they come back.
Huh.
If you want the book, I got it out there. You can borrow it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. No, I don't. I have it on Kindle. So I
That's
gotta
all
find
right.
it. I have one of the other books on there. Fuck.
I mean, one of my favorite books was World War Z.
Yeah.
Like, that book is awesome.
I haven't ever read the book.
And the movie
I've
was
seen part
okay,
of the
but
movie.
like, the book is so much better. It's after the whole like war and stuff, and he's recounting certain stories around the world about like, you know, from the time that it started
Right.
till like how they defeated them in certain
Right.
different. And like some of the battles that they had against the zombies is fucking crazy. It's like
Yeah.
I wish they would have made the movie like that.
Yeah. I
don't know. I think about like how we would do against zombies
Yeah.
pretty often. I mean,
Look, man. Look.
it sounds kind of fun, you know, just to be able to like shoot a bunch of guns
Look.
and, you know.
Look, man. My stepdad's essentially a doomsday prepper. Like,
Oh yeah,
he's ex-Marine special ops, man.
yeah,
Our place in Houston is a goddamn arsenal.
yeah.
I swear to God, I'm not joking about that.
Yeah.
The amount of shit that, for example, I asked him because I have that giant knife that I always bring, right?
Right.
I was like, I need a smaller knife. Do you have any ones laying around? He gave me 20 to take home. That's where we're sitting at.
That's a
He's
lot of
almost
knives.
like a hoarder, but he doesn't care about the shit that he has. So it's just one of those things where if you ask him, he's like, I have this, take it.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, my stuff. It's like, take it. I have more shit.
Right.
Take it.
Just has it.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I mean, alone in this apartment, there's got to be 13 guns sitting around in
Damn.
different places.
I don't have that many guns. I've got what I feel like is necessary. I'd kind of like a handgun.
Oh, we're over.
But I've got my rifle, a shotgun, and like a 30-30, like a brush gun. So like, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. He got my grandfather into it, and we were joking this last time when I was in town. He was like, "Man, I've created a monster," and he has. Oh my god, but my grandfather is like, if there's ever the zombie apocalypse, this dude needs to be the fucking sniper.
Yeah.
Because that's all he's gotten into. Is he gotten into like heavy, fucking long range rifles.
Huh.
And the scopes he's got on them are at least like $1,500 to $3,000 each.
God dang.
And that's what he's doing. And he shows me the pictures of when he's shooting yet. He's like fucking dead on. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
That's pretty
like
sweet.
looking and that's what he likes. And I'm with him. I mean, that's pretty fucking sweet. To be able to shoot like that,
Hell yeah.
that's pretty fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm not the best shot.
No, I'm not.
I mean,
either.
I'll
Not by any means.
I'll admit that.
Yeah, I have not practiced anywhere enough, but to watch him, I'm just like, oh my god, like.
We went hunting this year, and I missed like 2 deer. You know.
Oh yeah.
For whatever reason, I don't know.
See, I went hunting when I was a little kid, and I freaked out because of it. I think I shot a rabbit, and I freaked out.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, I freaked out about it.
I love shooting rabbits. We would in high school. So our friend's like girlfriend's family had a huge ranch in Sonora, Texas, 8,000 acre ranch, and it was all caliche roads because there were oil, like gas wells and stuff all over the ranch.
Mm-hmm.
So super nice roads, and we would just after the hunting day or whatever, we would all like start drinking, just get drunk, and drive around in trucks on this giant ranch till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, get lost on this ranch,
Sure.
and just driving around and blasting the shit out of rabbits with shotguns and pistols. It was so much fun. I mean, it's awesome. Like, rabbit takes off, pow, pow, pow. And yeah. Pretty dangerous, though. I mean, pretty dangerous. But one of the worst sounds I've ever heard was...
Jeff, what the fuck?
I guess we, clipped a rabbit, and it had the craziest scream ever. And we're like, okay, well, we got to kill this son of a bitch. Or, it's just going to keep screaming at us. So that was kind of crazy.
What the fuck?
Yeah. We were assholes, but... It was fun. I had a lot of fun doing it. So I don't care. They're fucking rabbits. They're overpopulating the ranch,
Yeah.
So, or at least that's what we tell ourselves.
Well, but I feel like that's like a lot of people who don't hunt don't get that. They kind of get this whole idea that it's like, oh, you're just killing everything for sport constantly, and it's just like, dude, it's like the same thing. It's like, dude, how many people do you know that go hog hunting, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're fucking ridiculous. They destroy the land. They're a pain in the ass. They're overpopulated. It's ridiculous.
Have you ever seen it where they fly in the helicopter and just...
No, I haven't, but I've heard about it.
God.
Yeah.
You got to watch that on, YouTube.
Well, they're fucking
awesome.
ridiculous, dude.
They have an AR.
And they repopulate just like fucking rabbits.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
The amount of them is just fucking nuts, dude.
Yep. I've shot a bunch of those, too.
That's what I've been meaning to go do. I haven't done those yet.
Yeah. And you never really feel bad when you kill a hog.
There's so many of them. There's so goddamn many of them.
Yeah.
I was telling my dad, my stepdad didn't know about snakeheads, the fish. Do you know about snakeheads with that?
No.
So, I guess apparently people don't really know about them this much, but so snakeheads are a fish that's native to Africa and Asia. It's a freshwater fish, and somebody introduced them to here, and it wasn't supposed to ever happen. And they're a fucking nuisance. They taste like shit. They fucking hurt people, and they destroy fucking fish.
They're in Austin?
They're everywhere.
What?
And so it's just in some places they're more popular than others. But essentially what these do, I mean, they're the kind of fish that kills for fun, essentially. And they, as far as I've heard, maybe I'm wrong, but they shred the shit out of fish, and they have these giant fangs. They look like a goddamn snake's head on the front of them with fangs like this fucking big.
Creeps me out.
Oh, they'll fuck you up. And they live in rivers and shit, and they look almost like an eel. The way their shape is, they look almost prehistoric where they have the fin all the way around their body, right?
Right.
With it. But these things will fuck you up, and there is a decree in all of America that says if you catch one of these, you have to fucking kill it. Kill it.
That's awesome.
And they taste like shit, which is the shitty part, because you're kind of like, well, I want to just catch a bunch of them and fucking have a giant fish fry.
Yeah.
And they made a joke about them on, was it Fish Tank Kings? Something like that. Guys who do, like, huge fish tanks and stuff, but
Yeah.
they try and cook them up, and they're just horrible. Like, they just taste horrible.
Because they're eating other fish?
I don't know, but it just was terrible.
Huh.
And that's all you hear about. No one ever has any good recipes
That's
for them.
crazy. I hope we don't get them in Austin.
I hope we don't.
I haven't
either.
heard about it.
I haven't heard of them in Austin. But they're evil as shit, man. They look like a goddamn snake with their
fish.
fangs. They'll fuck you up. They were on river monsters.
I mean, just normal snakes creep me out.
Yeah.
In the lake.
Yeah.
I don't
saw
need a
4 of
fucking
them
fish
the other day.
snake.
Yeah.
Swimming around.
You don't. I went paddleboarding for the first time the other weekend. I saw like 4 snakes going through it, but it's funny because I'm not a person who's afraid of snakes. But I don't want them near me. I mean, I feel like that's just natural. I mean, who the fuck want, like,
well, and yeah.
So,
and it seems like most water snakes are like poisonous, right? Moccasins? Like moccasins are poisonous.
Yeah, moccasins are poisonous. I didn't see any moccasins.
Oh.
Definitely wasn't any moccasins. They're just like normal, like, garden snakes. They weren't there. There was nothing about them that was like crazy.
Yeah.
I was looking for them, but I mean, as soon as they see you, they just went the other way. They're like,
yeah,
yeah, I'm done with you. Go away. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
I mean, luckily we don't have any crazy things. I'll tell you what, man. So that was the first time I'd ever been out on, I guess, Town Lake, whatever you want to consider that, the river that's running through Town Lake, whatever.
I call it Town Lake.
Sure.
Yeah. It's Lady Bird Lake now. I call it Town Lake.
Yeah. I mean,
if you're a true Austinite, you call it Town Lake. That's what I always say.
Well, I feel important now. There we go.
There you
go. I saw some fish that are like 14 inches in there, man. I was actually like,
I mean, that's not that big.
It's not that big, but I was pretty excited. I saw it and I was just like, and I looked right below me and I was like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. When I was younger, we were canoeing on it with like this summer, like not club, but like
freak me out. I already know you're gonna say something
like
that's gonna freak me out.
Summer camp type thing. We went canoeing and looked down in the water. I don't know if the water's still clear out there now, but it used to be clear.
It was pretty clear.
So I looked down, and I swear to God, I saw a turtle that was like,
okay, that's okay,
probably 3 foot wide. One of the biggest turtles I've ever seen, and it really freaked me out. So I like jammed my my paddle towards the turtle, and I don't know if I hit it or not, but it scared it away. Probably not. But
with the light
yeah, it was huge. I was like,
see it. Yeah,
it was like a sea turtle.
Yeah,
in the river.
Yeah,
just super unexpected.
Yeah, yeah. No, so when I grew up, originally in Texas, I lived in Dobbin, Texas, right outside of Montgomery and Magnolia.
Is that like north?
You know, it's sad, but I don't know. I don't know.
I think Montgomery is north.
But we'll go ahead and say
right.
that. Country.
Yeah.
we saved several turtles that were on our farm before that were trying to cross roads and everything. So we once caught an alligator snapping turtle without knowing what it was.
Uh-huh.
You ever seen one of those fuckers?
An alligator snapping turtle?
Yeah, you know it. You know it if you saw it.
No.
So these fuckers are the size of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And so they have a spiked shell that comes back, and the front of their face is a huge beak that comes down.
Uh-huh.
And they have feet like they're like a reptile alligator. They got like scales going all through down everything. So their thing is they have a worm looking thing on top of their tongue that looks like a worm. They sit with their mouth open down below.
Uh-huh.
They're known for taking ducks out from below. And what they do is they'll sit there and all of a sudden you'll see a duck and it's gone. And they suck it down and they take it down.
That's pretty awesome.
They're fucking, dude, if you ever got your hand in there, they take off your hand.
Oh, yeah.
It's gone.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're crazy, man.
Even snapping turtles, I mean, those
yeah.
snapping turtles.
Oh, yeah. Dude, these things look prehistoric.
Yeah.
And there's turtles that you can look up that are, like, from the dinosaur era.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here talking. I feel like I was really quiet for the longest time. Maybe I was. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't, like, talking right into it.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I can still hear you.
Okay, cool.
If that means anything.
Hopefully it does. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
Whatever. People seem to be listening. I have
Yeah.
23 listeners. It seems like
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Woo! 23 out to you guys. Hell yeah. I don't know if you're my friends or whatever, but it doesn't seem like you're my friends. It seems like people that I don't know. So
23
hey,
is
man.
more than 0.
yeah, man. Thanks for listening.
So
It's cool. No, but these things look like they're like from the prehistoric era. I mean, they're nuts.
that's awesome.
Super, super scaly, spiny looking dinosaur like.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
they're crazy.
Do you ever wonder, like, why people would listen to this?
Every fucking day. On top of when I'm doing these
it's
episodes.
like,
So I've said this before
what
on my other.
what do those people have going on? You
Dude,
know?
I've said this before on my other episodes. There's this I apparently have defined my genre of what it is. It's called unrestrained comedy talk. That is this genre
right.
with it. And you know what though? Honestly, do you listen to talk radio at all?
Really, the only show that I listen to is Dudley and Bob, and I barely listen to that.
Okay.
So,
Well, I don't know. Maybe to me, I started doing this because I actually am a big talk radio guy. It's nostalgic for me. I grew up listening to it
yeah.
on both sides of my family, on both sides of even my divorced family. My dad listened to it and my stepdad listened to it. I listen to 590 every day
Uh-huh.
with it, and so does Hannah. And I don't know, like there's something comforting about it, of where it's just like this show is about nothing. I mean,
Right.
I mean, there's tags. I've said this the last few episodes too. I'm just repeating myself every episode. I feel like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
there's tags that are in there that say it's craft beer, it's craft beer, music, musicians, blah blah blah, going through here. But this show is really about nothing. It's the fucking Seinfeld of goddamn radio shows.
Yeah.
It really isn't. I don't do any scripting. I don't do any editing unless there's something that seriously someone feels like they did a mistake with.
Yeah.
And even then, I'm gonna question you for doing it. It's just
Yeah.
this is just how I do it. I like.
Well,
doing
now that
it.
my name's on here, I'm not gonna like say any like super crazy stories.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh come on. Well, you're fine. You're looking for a job currently, so that's cool.
I'm not worried about that, but yeah.
No, I mean, I originally
Never know who's gonna,
No, it's true. I originally started this show calling it Useless Threats. Again, repeating myself. Said this before. Of where I thought I was like, man, I had intended. I was like, I'm angry. I got a lot of shit I gotta get off my chest. It's gonna be super offensive, super bullshit. I think I could like list like one episode where there was like one phrase where it could have been considered offensive.
Yeah.
And even then, maybe I'm not so sensitive. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm super offensive to some people.
Right.
Who the fuck knows? But as far as things that
Who
it would
cares?
offend me, nope, still not. No, if it was
Right.
offending me, no, there's
Right.
nothing that has offended me. But anything that I consider that might be offensive to someone else, there's like one phrase. and that was it. I mean, that's just
Was it like racism?
no.
No. Well,
No, it was
that's
like
to
it
me
was like
that's
a
the main
joke
thing.
about AIDS. That was about it.
I mean,
Yeah. And the only reason I thought of it was because the guy I had on the next episode was an HIV survivor, like, advocate and everything. And
Oh,
even he
shit.
wouldn't have given a shit. No, yeah, I fucking love the dude. He's my old manager. He's
Yeah.
fucking awesome. But no, but he's under that same impression of, why are we sitting here, like, fearing this?
yeah,
If you can't make fucking fun of it,
Yeah.
then why are you, what are you going to do? So, like you said earlier, everybody dies. Whatever.
everybody dies.
I mean, and
You know?
he's not yeah, I mean, that episode was actually incredible because I learned a lot of things. Actually, dude, I mean, we still view that disease as to be like one of the like worst things you can get. Dude, those people live the exact same life as we do now. Like
Yeah.
there like that cocktail doesn't even exist anymore, that AIDS cocktail that they joke about. Unless you
I mean-
don't take your meds, it doesn't exist.
I never hear about
No.
AIDS anymore.
It's because literally, as long as you do your shit right, you live just normal as anybody
Yeah.
else. It's fucking pretty
I
awesome.
mean, it would suck to have.
no, it would
that's
suck
for
to
sure.
have, but literally, it's one of those things where it's just like, if you do your shit right, it ain't gonna affect you.
Probably like
there.
having diabetes is probably
and
worse.
that's what he compared it to.
You
He
know?
said it's just like it's the same level. He's
Yeah.
like, that's where we're at
How
now.
crazy is that?
Right?
Fuck.
I was just like, I couldn't even believe it. I learned so much from that episode. I was like, holy shit. He's like, yeah.
Huh.
Just pay attention to your shit. That's about it. You're good to go. They even, no, you want to blow your mind right now?
Huh.
So they even got to this next level, which he was talking about. So his partner that he's with doesn't have AIDS at all. And they've gotten to a point now where you get to a point of where it's called, I can't remember what he called it, but they don't like calling it that because it's freaky with it. Of where basically the disease can't be detected, and that's what makes it freaky. Is it's just like you don't know if there's no. One of the biggest reasons that they don't know if there's a cure for AIDS is that it goes into a state of submission that's like
Right.
you can't even tell if it's there. So if you ran a test, it wouldn't be there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's just like, but so they basically go into this state, right? Of once you hit this state, they started running this test, and they've been doing it for over 5 years now of different couples who didn't have AIDS, and one had AIDS. I'm sorry. I should correct this. He has HIV. He doesn't have AIDS. There's a big difference
Okay.
between that.
Right.
But
You get HIV, and then that
it can
leads
turn
you
into
to
AIDS.
turn-
Yeah. And but HIV is the virus. AIDS is the symptoms, I believe, that essentially occur from it. I might still be wrong. I'm sorry, Greg. Whatever. Listen to his shit. You'll learn a lot from it. it's just a lot of information.
Yeah.
But anyway, basically what happens to it is that you get to a point of where since it's undetectable, they've done this research for over 5 years of couples who didn't have HIV with it, and not a single one has contracted it from their partner. Not a single one. Like, holy fuck. Like, how? You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
So one person has it, and the other person doesn't.
Yeah. And 5
And
years of study,
the one
not a
that
single
doesn't-
one has contracted it. Yeah.
That's weird. So how did the person get it in the first place?
Who, the first person?
Yeah.
Different circumstances. For example, his circumstance was he was dating someone who had it. He didn't know it. They gave it to him, and they knew it. And that guy's actually in jail now. Because that's actually considered
So
biological warfare, essentially.
so he
manslaughter.
has it, and then obviously like has sex
Yeah. With his partner.
with
Yeah.
his partner, and his partner doesn't get it.
No, they don't have it. But, I mean, he knowingly consented to it. That he didn't.
Why doesn't his partner get it?
Just didn't.
I
They
mean,
don't
they
know.
Use like
That's the
rubbers.
thing. That's the thing. Yeah, they still use protection,
Yeah.
but no. And they don't know. They don't know. That's the thing, is they have no idea. Well, they might have some idea. But basically right now there is no conclusion of why this has happened. It's kind of, we were comparing it to cancer. It's one of those things of where the virus is so perfect when you look at the way it works that the idea of curing it might not be as easy of a thing as as another disease. It's very difficult. Whereas the same thing with cancer, where it's like cancer is a mutation of cells. It's almost a naturally occurring thing. It's really, really hard to pinpoint in simplistic form of how you would stop that from happening. And so it's the same thing that they've got going, of where they're like, well, we've made it to where it gets into a state of, like, as in cancer terms, remission with it, because you don't get cured from cancer, you just go into a state of remission, and then they just don't get it.
Right.
And it's crazy. Like, she even told him, because he's been so good with it, that, I should specify, the nurse even told him, she said, I ran your blood test with it. She goes, if I didn't know you had HIV, I would have guessed that you're more healthy than most people on Earth.
Crazy.
I mean, it's crazy. It's nuts.
I bet they have a cure for it.
You know what?
I bet they have a cure for cancer.
I would love to know that. I would hope so. I feel like they do. If we're talking about conspiracy wise, I feel like yeah.
Population control.
I would agree with you on that. I didn't think that would take that turn, but I agree with you on that. Well, we've gotten to
crazy, right? Gotta do it somehow.
So we've gotten to a level in society of where you have to do it. Natural selection almost doesn't happen anymore. We've got so many goddamn stupid people
keeping people alive that shouldn't be alive.
Look at Facebook and Twitter. We got so many stupid people that should have died so much long ago.
Yeah.
And we keep them alive, and we do.
But the other side of that is you have a place like China, and they're fucking crazy. Like, they'll just straight up kill babies.
No, they will.
That was a crazy thing to say.
No, it's not.
Kill babies.
The
Chinese.
I don't get into a lot of politics on here because I know that they'll get the most backlash super fast with it.
Yeah.
But I know my shit with it, and
my cousin lived in China. So she was like, hell yeah, they do all that stuff. She's like, it's crazy. Have you seen the Chinese ghost cities? Have you heard about this?
I'm pretty sure I've seen a few of them over different social media platforms. Yeah.
It's bonkers.
You're talking about like all the abandoned cities that exist, or what are you talking about?
No, they build these mega cities, like cities as big as New York, just because they have the money, and they expect people are going to move there because the population is so high.
Yeah.
But I guess it's expensive to live there.
Yeah.
So nobody moves to the cities. So they have these fucking cities that nobody lives in.
Really?
Yeah, but they like interviewed a couple people. There's like a guy that works in a toy shop, and I guess he's just paid by the government or whatever. And he's like, yeah, in the past week I've had like one or two customers.
That's super creepy.
Yeah.
That's
you ought to look it up.
Super fucking creepy.
They built it was like a $500 million or a $5 billion bridge that literally just goes to nowhere. China is crazy, man. Like, if something happens, like war related, it's gonna be fucking China. For real. Those people are nuts.
Dude, there's some crazy shit going on there.
Yeah.
There's some crazy shit going on in all the world.
Oh yeah. We have no idea.
Now.
One of my uncles does he's a contractor. I don't know if it's for the Department of Defense or whoever, but
yeah.
Like he knows all this top secret stuff that he can't talk about, and he'll talk about things that he can talk about.
Yeah.
Like Russia and China have these jets that are more sophisticated than our jets because they're ramping up their military stuff and we're ramping down. So we're not keeping up with their technology. So he's like, yeah, we're trying to figure out a way to, defend against this shit now.
So, Jeff,
I mean,
your entire point of being here tonight was just to freak me out about everything, right? Is that what's going on with your FBI buddy? And, and now the
Yep.
investigation's into China and
Yep.
Russia.
fucking China.
God damn it.
They do make some good food, though.
Dude! Oh, let's drink that Goza.
Hell yeah.
Hold on. We'll be right back.
That
okay.
prayer was awesome.
Right? I dug it.
I like
hey,
their beer.
actually, before I leave, so this is actually funny. I gotta just admit this because I feel like I've admitted it before, but I'm drunk half the time during these fucking shows. But I intend this to be like a craft beer show, and I like say like, this is good. And I never say anything else
Throughout
about
the show?
it again.
Tasty beer.
Well, what's great is I'm getting people like on here from different breweries too. That it's just
Yeah.
like, this is good. Okay, we're done.
Yeah.
That's it. And I intend it to be that way, but it's funny.
Yeah.
This is the Prairie.
I mean, which
somewhere.
one did you like more, the Prairie or the Jester King? I think I like the Jester King.
I like the Jester King, but that's because Prairie. Someone had told me Prairie does almost exclusively Brettanomyces kind of stuff with it. And I'm just learning this. I might be wrong. I don't know. But they do essentially like funky stuff all the time, and I like the lacto. And that's what I've basically been learning about is
Right.
I like lacto, and Jester King does lacto. And so
I think theirs is a mixture of a lot of shit. Like Jester King's culture
yeah.
it's got ale yeast, lacto, Brett, lager. I mean, it's got everything in it. It probably has some champagne yeast,
Okay.
wild yeast.
So they just
wild
do it. They do it. They
bacteria.
have their own concoction.
They
that
made
do.
they made their own culture.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed this, but on the bottle, this is a collaboration.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I
with
don't
Saint somewhere.
Saint Somewhere. Yeah, I've never heard of them.
Did you say that earlier?
Well, I think you
God, I
think you thought I was talking about the beer, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
the collaboration
yeah.
with the Saint Somewhere.
Somewhere. That's like so light on the bottle too. Like
Yeah,
you can barely
can
see
barely
that.
see it.
Anyway, this is the Prairie Somewhere by Prairie Artisan Ales. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And it's a sour farm ales ale. Prairie's awesome, man. They do a good job. Do you ever talk to Brian? Does he know them at all since they were in Oklahoma together?
I haven't talked to him about that.
I haven't either.
I wonder.
if
But
Brian
they
or Mike
started-
knew them.
He left before they started. They're
Did he?
I think they're only a couple years old as far as
we're
I
only
know.
4.5.
They're about their plan is about 5.
Well, that's what he's saying. Well,
Well,
we're going
5
on,
in June.
We're going on the 5th right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they started later, did they?
Prairie.
Yeah.
They're 2 or 3 years old. Yeah.
Are they really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe
That's
he did.
crazy. Yeah. Oh man, anniversary party. That's gonna be epic. It's gonna be
Yeah.
Come to it. I don't know if we've
Yeah.
announced the dates yet, so I'm not saying shit about
Get those
it. but
extra
come to
23
it.
people.
Come to it. 23 people. And if you come to me and you say, "Oh my God, it's Chris Marks," I'm gonna slap you because I can't even believe that you listen to me. But I love you.
That's
I love
awesome.
Okay, we're gonna be right back. We're gonna grab this cool Goza. Bye.
Ba 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 boo.
Ba 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 boy. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a little plug really quick because Jason's the one who turned us onto this. So we're drinking the Victory Kirsch Goza. This dude just texted me about this today. You know him as Jason Jones. He's Jason Kinderman. And he texted me about this today, saying, "Hey man, new Goza. It's a sour cherry one. And it's delicious.
Pretty good.
Good job, Victory."
I like Gozas.
Yeah, so do I. I'm all about it.
I mean, I still think it'd be sweet to make a brewery that's like just Goza.
Yep.
I don't know if they're harder to make than normal beers.
Stu and I were just talking about that today, and he was like, I'm pretty sure it was Jeff that was saying we should just make a straight goza beer.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know.
I
It
mean,
wasn't me, so I was like, but
fuck.
he's like, I'm pretty sure it was Jeff, man. Yeah, dude.
They're awesome. Everybody likes them.
Some people
I've-
don't.
I
Mark
haven't
doesn't.
heard of one single person that hasn't liked
Mark
a goza.
doesn't.
Mark.
Mark does not. But we talked about all Marks are weird. So
I don't know what kind of beer Mark likes. Probably just Thirsty Planet. Right?
if you don't like
Just normal beer.
gozas, you're
Fuck
a
you.
communist.
If you don't like gozas, then fuck you.
You're a communist, you fucking son of a bitch. You're not
I
about
mean-
America.
Even Real Ale has the goza they do for like their anniversary or whatever in the summer.
Which one is that? I haven't had that.
They do. It's almost like a chilada style.
Oh.
Is that where you put like salt and lime in a beer? Is that a
Sure.
chilada?
Let's say yes.
It's kind of like that. So to me, I liked it because it was like refreshing and it's a
Yeah.
good like summer beer.
Yeah, all I want to drink in summer
Yeah,
is
man.
gozas now.
I mean, Westbrook. Have you ever had Westbrook goza?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Amazing.
And I want it so bad.
It's amazing. It's
No,
so fucking
that was the
good.
first one I ever had.
Yeah.
Fucking Jody over at Witchcraft gave it to me,
Yeah.
and apparently I can find it in Gulf Shores, Alabama. I'm picking up some and bringing it back.
Oh hell yeah!
I'm stoked.
When are you going there?
End of June, very end of June. Next day after the anniversary party.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
stoked, but apparently I can get that, and Jason told me
awesome.
I can get Cigar City too, so I'm like, I'm bringing that shit back.
Cigar City's
I'm gonna
good.
try. I mean, I don't know what I can find, dude. Have you spent any time in Alabama?
I've never been to Alabama.
Okay. Well, first off, this is probably the only place I'd ever want to step foot in Alabama. Sorry, I'm just saying. I don't understand
That's
why
fair.
anybody would want to be there. Anyway,
Supposedly it's a cool state.
I've heard, but we live in
They're
Texas,
still pretty
which means
backwards.
we're way better. So I mean,
There's a lot of places in Alabama that are still really backwards. They're stuck in the 1800s.
Yeah, and Texas is backwards, so we're already like sitting here just like.
I mean, kind of. You're in
Yeah.
Austin. Austin's not backwards.
debatable.
For the most part. You know.
Hey man, I fucking love Texas. I'll say any day.
Oh,
I'm
shit, yeah.
I'm a huge Texas fanatic. But anyway, I'm gonna try and go there. But the reason I asked you if you'd been there is their fucking tax on alcohol is ridiculous.
Really?
Seriously. Like it's like 1.5 times the fucking amount that we pay here for bottles. It's
Huh.
ridiculous. I told my mom already. I told my mom. I told my stepdad. I told my grandparents. Is like anything you want, tell me. I'm gonna bring it up. I'm just gonna check my bag. I'm
Yeah.
just bringing bottles of liquor. I'm not
Yeah.
fucking dealing with that tax.
Huh.
We went in there and like a bottle of Hornitos was like double the price, and I was like, no. And we
That's
weren't
weird.
even wanting to buy that in the first place. Actually, we were looking for something even cheaper. Not gonna lie. But it was just that expensive. It was just like this is
Swaza or
ridiculous
whatever.
right now.
Swaza. Is that how you
So I
say
was
it?
just like, I
Souza?
think it's Souza. Yeah, I don't know.
You used to drink that in high school.
Yeah. Man, you know what? One I'm like,
Montezuma.
I have two that I'm obsessed with here, and they're both cheap and they're both awesome. And everybody you talk to will say that, yeah, actually for the price is pretty fucking good. Is El Jimador. El
Uh-huh.
Jimador Reposado is fucking awesome, and Espolón Reposado is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
If you're looking for cheap, man, that's what you do. If
Not
I'm
a big tequila fan,
Oh, you're not.
gonna be honest.
Okay.
I mean, I'll drink. The reason is we would get super cheap tequila in high school and literally just drink
That'll
it
do it.
straight.
Yep.
And got super sick off of it a few times, and now I have a really hard time drinking it straight now.
That'll do it. Yes.
Montezuma tequila. Montezuma. I remember it specifically.
See,
Horrible.
Hannah and I didn't drink tequila because we were up in Chicago and not many people were drinking it, so we'd shoot other things with it.
I heard tequila bars are like big in Chicago.
They are really big now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we weren't going to bars until after we were 21. We were originally getting alcohol of any kind. It wasn't tequila, and even then, once we got there, we were like, ooh, whiskey and ooh, gin drinks, and you know what I mean, kind of thing. But yeah, they actually are really big in Chicago now.
Yeah.
But
The thing to do is like go to a bar and try a bunch of tequilas. It just sounds gross.
well,
My cousin was telling me about that. I was like, that sounds fucking disgusting.
Well, for us now, it's been to the point of where it's just like if we get a bottle of tequila, you know how alcohols hit you in different depending on what they are, right? With tequila, we can finish like a bottle and be, you know, okay. We're like when we're sitting there, we're just like we should probably not drink tequila anymore.
I do like being tequila drunk though.
The tequila drinks.
I have noticed like different alcohols will get you a different kind of drunk, right?
Yeah.
And tequila is like a happy, you know, have fun, drunk. Actually, to me, most booze makes me like happy.
Yeah,
like
me
whiskey.
Too.
Most people who drink whiskey, it gets them like angry.
See,
like it does that to my brother. You know, some of my friends. I'm like, I drink whiskey and I just like, chill out. You know.
here's the thing, man. With that is that I love whiskey. I almost say outside of here, if I have the money for it, I almost exclusively drink whiskey, and I usually just drink it straight with like an ice cube. That's how I usually do it. If I'm at a bar, typically it's like a whiskey Coke because I don't want to pay for high class whiskey. I'd rather just pay cheap and drink Wells. I don't like again.
And then
I don't
mix it with
fucking care. I don't care. Right. So I'm not a snob about it. It's just like this is I'll drink what I like.
Yeah.
But with whiskey, I will say it's not. I wouldn't say that it gets me angry by any means, but I will say the reaction I get to whiskey is I feel manly, and that's what I guess what it is, and that's really what. It sounds funny, but it's like a testosterone boost.
Right.
So it's not like like I get angry. It's just that if there was a likelihood
think you're like better than everybody else, yeah.
Not exactly.
I kind of get that sometimes.
It's just like more of it's more. There's a confidence with it, and I also would say if there's ever a chance of me getting it depends on what they said in general. But if someone insulted Hannah, and I was with her, and there's a chance of me getting into a fight, there's a much higher chance that if it was with whiskey, that I'd be really confrontational about it comparatively to not. Because I don't find myself to be an angry person. So I'm a very passive-aggressive person. The older I get, I always thought I was like, yeah, I can be confrontational. Not really.
Yeah.
Honestly, it takes a lot for me to be. I will be if I need to be.
Right.
But with whiskey, I feel like I could easily be set off comparatively. But it takes a lot, though. It's not like something like you could say something stupid and I get pissed off. It's like, you'd have to do a lot, but if there was a chance of me being confrontational, it's probably more likely if I was drinking whiskey.
I just don't get like that.
I don't know what it is, man.
But,
I don't know what it is.
You know, most everybody that I know drinks whiskey. They just get into a mood where they like want to get in a fight. It's bizarre.
It's just got bull shark testosterone in it.
Guess.
All of them does.
God dang.
No, but that's the same thing with so there's always every bad story that everybody has with drinking, right, is tequila, right? Whenever you hear the story, it's like, so we were drinking tequila.
Yeah.
It's always the way it goes with it. But I would say the same with good tequila is if you're talking about a crazy night that happens, it's typically with tequila.
Definitely.
And I could probably agree with that because, again, it has to do the same thing with when Hannah and I are drinking tequila, I don't feel it until I'm shit-faced. I don't feel a damn thing, and then all of a sudden I'm like fucking hammered. And by that point, you don't care. Like because when it hits you, you're like almost like blackout, and you just don't care at that point.
Right.
So it's like I could understand that as well. I would say the most tame drunk that I could ever say out of liquors is probably vodka, and that's just because I don't like vodka. And it's just like I
can drink a lot of vodka.
Yeah,
I kind of stopped. So a couple years ago, I lost a bunch of weight, and I drank a lot of vodka just because you drink a vodka soda and it's
right.
like
It's the least calories out of
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
0
Yeah.
calories, and it gets you hammered.
Yeah.
But almost every time I would drink vodka, I'd black out. So, like, I basically had to stop drinking vodka. I kind of like drinking vodka. I mean, I do, because
Look, man, I love Kettle
it
One.
doesn't really, to me, if you're drinking vodka soda all night, it's going to give you the least bad hangover.
I would agree with that. I
Than
would agree
anything
with that
else.
any day. Yes, I would agree with that.
So actually, and you get obliterated.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, you do.
trashed.
And it like sneaks up on you too.
Yeah.
You don't. It's
Yeah.
another one of where you almost don't feel it.
Super
because
dangerous.
It's so smooth. It's so smooth. Yeah.
Super dangerous.
Like especially like you're someone who obviously likes carbonation, then, right?
I mean, it depends.
Okay. Well, the only reason I'm saying is
I
like when you're
like-
drinking like vodka soda, it's almost like just carbonated water. You're just drinking like Perrier.
Right.
I mean, it's just like
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Perrier, whatever.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I
feel
could drink
the same way.
I could drink vodka on the rocks.
when I
you
when
know.
I used to bartend,
I like martinis. Martinis are
Really?
awesome.
Okay,
I
so like
love martinis.
so when I used to bartend up there, when I was on a shift, one of the older bartender taught me before he left, and he used to own his own bar. He's like, you know what? You want to know what the secret drink is? I was like, what? He goes, Kettle One and soda, 2 lemons.
Mm-hmm.
And he did it, and it's shit. He goes, you want to have a little fun, but still be able to comprehend things? It's like drinking water. You just pace yourself, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with Kettle One with that. I wish I could afford it all the time, but I love Kettle One with it. But he was completely right on that. But the other thing is, I never got into martinis. I don't know what it is.
man.
I so much more prefer things being on the
Dirty.
rocks than in a martini. You like dirty martinis?
Dirty martini.
See,
Oh.
shit. See, now, vodka or gin?
I
You
like
vodka?
olives. Vodka.
Okay.
I'll
could
tell
do
you,
it- I
vodka-
would do a dirty gin martini before vodka.
I'll tell you, vodka that I've recently got into is Russian Standard. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
It's awesome. I
You
mean,
like
and
it?
it's cheap. It's like under $20 bottle.
I'm with you. Do you know which one is crazy with this? Hannah's parents always drink it, and they actually have a gin too that's not bad. And
Russian Standard?
No. Ivanovich. You had Ivanovich?
Oh.
That's Trump's one.
No.
Apparently, $12 for $7.50.
Yes. That is cheap.
Yeah.
That
and right,
is
and
cheap.
you sit there and you're like, I mean, you'd question it, but they swore by it, so we tried it.
Huh.
No hangover, not bad. Would I drink it on its own in a martini? Probably not.
Yeah.
But as far as mixing, pretty good.
Yeah.
We got their gin there on top of it, trying to just like, okay, if I could choose a gin, well, if I could choose a gin, I would go with Hendrix.
Hendrix is the
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Hendrix is awesome.
If I was going to go with a normal gin, I'd probably go with Bombay, and I like Bombay Sapphire.
Yeah.
That's what I like with it.
Oh god.
And that's what I would go with. But apparently, apparently gin is one of the worst ones. It's
What do
like
you mean?
super full of sugar for calories. I didn't know that.
Well, so
And you can
I don't
actually-
really know, because from what I've read, is gin is basically vodka that they age with like juniper berries and spices.
Right. Well,
So-
okay. Well, if you're going off of that, then vodka is essentially anything, right? 'Cause
Right.
vodka
It's
can
any
be made
kind of
from
grain.
anything. Yeah. Or past that, you can actually make vodka out of anything. Literally anything.
Well, that
I'm
has
farting.
like
Oh my
sugar in it.
God.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm guessing.
So the craziest time, basically the last time I drank a bunch of gin, it must have been like 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, on a Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
A bunch of friends and I did a, like, married friends that I have too. We did a sausage fest
Okay.
on Valentine's Day, where we just
Okay.
like bought a bunch of sausage
Okay.
and whatever. So my friend brought over this bottle of gin. Him and I were drinking gin martinis the whole night, which is basically just like chilled gin in a martini glass.
Yeah, it was just shaken gin. Yeah.
2 of us killed a bottle of, I think it was Bombay. So close towards the end of this thing. This is on a Tuesday, mind you. This Valentine's Day. Somebody's like, we should go to strip club on Valentine's Day.
Mhm.
And we're like, okay. You know. And we're with married couples, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was weird. So we go up we're in South Austin, not far from here, actually, down Davis. We're at my friend's house. And drive all the way up to Perfect 10, which is fucking far. I don't know if you've ever been there.
No.
It's up off like the toll road 150. No, 45. It's like 45 and 35.
Okay.
Super far. And I'm like blacked out. And so it's basically like me and then like 3 couples. So, I'm single and like 3 couples. So I'm sitting there. They're like buying me lap dances, which was weird as shit because they're just like sitting there watching girl grind on me. And I'm just like blacked out.
Yeah.
Lose my phone. Had to go to work in the morning. And this is when I'm going to work at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm like, it was the worst workday ever. I had the worst hangover ever. But probably like the funnest Valentine's Day I've ever
That's
had.
pretty badass.
I mean,
Yeah.
Shit. 'Cause
Well-
usually Valentine's Day is like, you go out on a date or whatever. It's
We
just
never do
boring as
Valentine's
shit.
Day on Valentine's Day because it's
Yeah.
always overcrowded and bullshit.
We'll just fucking,
We just fucking do what we want with it. Yeah.
going on stupid like dinner dates is,
Yeah.
For
no,
Valentine's
we,
Day,
we,
it's
we, we
stupid.
do what we want.
yeah.
We do what we
Yeah.
want. Yeah. No, okay, so you're a martini lover. So I gotta ask you this. With it. Do you like vermouth? Dry vermouth, not sweet vermouth.
So,
Different.
yeah, I use vermouth.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay,
A
because
little bit. I do
see, and
a little.
that's what I was waiting for is because like the older and older generations that get with it, it seems almost like the martini's gonna eventually not include vermouth because no one likes it. Like
Really?
it keeps getting smaller and smaller the amount that you put it. If you do a vermouth if you do a martini the way that we've known it to be today, because actually if you look at old martinis were actually flavored orange. That's actually the original way a martini was done. It was just an orange flavored cocktail with it. If you look at it the way we've done it traditionally since, to where it's like the way we know it now, people hate it because vermouth is a very acquired taste, I guess, because most people don't do it.
It's kind of
anymore.
like champagne, right? I mean, vermouth is the martini, right? It's the martini brand.
Vermouth. Yeah. It can be. Yeah, it can be from.
There's
the
other
martini
brands, but
Right. But vermouth makes a martini with it, and it is, if I'm correct, a form of wine
right.
put into a liqueur with it. I know the red one is.
Yeah.
Which is a sweet. Or a rosso or whatever.
A good way that I've seen bars use vermouth in a martini is they'll pour some in the martini glass and then stir it around the edges so it goes up the sides.
So it's almost like a wash. They do
Yeah.
like an absinthe wash instead with vermouth.
Right.
It's a good idea. It's just a very slight flavor into
Yep.
it. It's so strong. That's the problem with it.
I've never really tried it on its own, so
It's gross.
Is
I mean,
it-
in my opinion, it's gross.
Yeah.
I don't like martinis though.
yeah.
So that's my thing. I'd rather any day drink it on the rocks. I love Manhattans. I would any day take a sweet vermouth. I love. So that's great. But dry vermouth, I fucking hate. I
Yeah.
fucking hate dry vermouth.
Huh.
So I mean,
Yeah.
I love Manhattans, which uses sweet vermouth and whiskey with it. But
I don't know. I like booze.
But yeah, no, I'm
Most
with you. It's
kinds.
just, but if I was gonna choose, what's funny too about dry vermouth too is it's called dry vermouth, but if someone orders an extra dry martini, it means as little vermouth as possible, which is funny.
That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like dirty with olive juice.
Well, and my stepdad always
olives.
my stepdad loves gin martinis. He loves dirty gin martinis, and he always orders them up. I've never heard of someone not ordering a martini up. And up means that's in a fucking martini glass. So I'm just like, when you order it up, you're ordering a martini. Who the fuck orders a martini in a glass that is not up? But that actually is technically the right way to order it. Is if you're Tommy, he says, he goes, I want a dirty gin martini. And I don't think he does dry or anything. I think he just does it normal. He might do dry. He does dirty gin martini dry and up, which means it should be less vermouth, extra dirty, extra olive juice. I don't know. Up in a martini glass.
I don't really know how to order, to be honest.
No one knows how to take them either, so it's not your fault. No one knows what the fuck you're talking about.
Look, I only really order them in a couple places. Perry's has a great, they do, because they use like blue cheese olives.
Blue cheese stuffed olives, yep.
Martinis, delicious. And then Satellite, because I live close to there, their happy hour, they do like a $4 martini. You know, I mean, it's not the best, but they use like Tito's. You know,
dude? I love Tito's, man. You don't like
it's
Tito's?
Okay. I mean,
what's wrong with Tito's? What do you like for vodka?
For my money, I would go Russian Standard.
Compared
to
Tito's,
Svedka's good.
Compared to Tito's.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm not with you now.
Yeah.
What?
Or Dripping Springs.
No.
Dripping Springs is good.
I will tell you any day. I am a huge Svedka fan. That was all through college. That's what I drank. I love Svedka. I've had Russian Standard several times. Dripping Springs vodka I'd recently had, which is great. But Tito's, comparatively to those,
for martini, no. Damn. It's not smooth enough for a martini.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, you drink a lot of martinis, so you know.
I like to make martinis in my house.
Oh, there you go. I mean, but if that's what you drink,
I would prefer.
If that's what you drink,
to make
you
mine.
know though with it.
Yeah.
It's your preference.
I was on this like martini.
That's a good way to know what's smooth or not. If you're drinking martinis with it, you would know. With it, so.
Exactly. I was on this whole like martini kick where I would come home and make like 3 of them.
Yeah.
Because you have 3 or 4 martinis.
Oh, you're
and you're lit.
That's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's awesome, and you don't get a hangover. You know.
I'm with you, dude. I drink whiskey straight. That's what I do. With it, my favorite whiskey is actually Booker's, and that's 163.4 something like that %. And I can't drink that every day. That'll just fucking kill me with it. But normally what I would drink is I go basically between. I started becoming a big fan of Bulleit because it was advertised everywhere around here and they had good prices on it. I was like, I actually like Bulleit. I love good. Bulleit 10 years is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I go between that Buffalo Trace, and if I'm going cheap with it, and I love it, man, I'll still go any day. Is Four Roses.
Yeah.
Four Roses is cool, and I still one day defend Jim Beam to the day.
Dude.
Jim Beam is the shit. They make awesome high class and low class.
Beam was my shit in college.
Beam is the shit, dude. They
Beam and Sprite
knock on them, dude. Beam
and Sprite. It does give me a super bad hangover now.
Does it?
It does.
Beam,
but I mean, I could go through a handle of Beam in like 2 days by myself.
If I was part of the crowd, I'd be with you. But it's a lot.
You know, it was super cheap though.
Oh,
now it's like not that cheap, but
it's still comparatively, dude. I mean,
true.
But the thing is though, is you can get Four Roses for like $2 more for a handle.
Right.
Yeah.
See, the thing with whiskey and at least bourbon, from what I've heard, is most bourbons are made by like 1 or 2 distilleries.
Yeah.
So like my cousin in Chicago,
they are. Or they get their barrels at least from Jim Beam. Yeah. It's done. That's it. Yeah.
My cousin in Chicago, his cousin, so not my cousin, it's like on his other side, actually bought a patch of bourbon from somewhere, but it's like the same distiller that makes Bulleit.
Well, they always joke
and
about
he's
that.
Rebranding it and just selling it, you know, as his own brand of whiskey.
Well, they
I'm like, that's badass.
Oh yeah, they joke about what is it? Kirkland's by Sam's Club. Is that what it is, or Costco? I can't remember whoever that
Kirkland
is.
is Costco.
But that's the same as Smirnoff, if I'm correct. It's the same distillery. It's the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I think. I think that's what it is. I might be wrong, but it's another big one where it's like it doesn't matter. It's the exact same fucking thing.
Yeah.
But it's just not branded.
Right.
Jim Beam is the largest distributor of barrels in the world with their shit, dude. I mean, they sell their barrels are ridiculous. So even if you're not fucking making, it straight through Jim Beam, you're still using their barrels every time. You know what I mean? So
like Pappy.
Yeah.
That's like the same bourbon. I think it's made by the same people who make Bullet.
Yeah.
It's like the same exact thing.
Yeah, dude. I mean, dude, and if I love
or whoever, or maybe Buffalo Trace. I think it might be Buffalo Trace.
I don't know.
Is the same as like Pappy.
Dude, I mean, you look at everybody always rags on Jim Beam, but Jim Beam makes Knob Creek, Booker's, Baker's, and Basil Hayden. Are you really gonna fuck with them? Really?
Basil Hayden.
Dude.
I drank a whole bottle of that at a bachelor party one night.
Yeah.
Woke up in the bathtub the next morning with throw up all over myself.
That's hot.
Just drank a whole fucking bottle.
There you go, man.
Granted, before that, we played Power Hour,
Yeah.
And I hadn't done Power Hour in like years. Even with like, what did we have? Keystone or some bullshit. You get trashed. And I don't even know if we finished it. Like somebody, by close to the end of a Power Hour, like somebody was already thrown up. So I don't even know if we finished Power Hour.
That's
it's ridiculous.
Funny, dude.
Yeah, bachelor parties, man.
There you go.
Got a bachelor party in Vegas in July.
You're telling me about that.
I'm not super excited for it. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, we'll see. It's a group of friends that they're basically all in a frat together.
Okay.
At UT.
Okay.
And they all like have a lot of money, at this point in their life. They're all like successful and stuff.
Yeah.
So, which would be like, how the hell am I going to go and drop like a couple grand on a fucking weekend? It's like,
right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's just not. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, man.
Vegas is fun though.
Vegas is fun.
And I haven't done it with friends since I've turned 21. So
I haven't either.
Yeah. My parents took me for my 21st birthday.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
That's badass.
So, I mean, that was fun, but,
Yeah. You're with your parents.
There's a lot more stuff to do without your parents.
Yeah, without your parents. Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Hell yeah. Well, Jeff, on that note, I'm going to end this. We're going to still chill after this, but let's end this podcast. I got Jeff Seal over here.
Yeah.
Chilling. This has been the Useless Threats podcast. This is Chris Marks. Chilling here. This is episode 9. I will announce this again in the intro, but I regret to inform you that Bucket of Beers will be delayed a week. So next week we won't have an episode. Sorry, but it's going to be a better episode because of it. Just scheduling conflicts. But episode 10, Bucket of Beers 1, will be the week after. And hopefully Jeff will be able to be at that. I haven't even gotten to talk to him about that yet, but I'll be asking him after this.
We'll see.
But anyway, thanks, Jeff, for being here. This has been a good time, dude.
Yeah, it's fun.
Cool. Peace out, guys.